So thanks so much for joining us. This is a MeWe Awakening panel. Our theme tonight is Lionsgate activation, Lionsgate cosmic activation. So we will share a bit about what Lionsgate is a little bit later. And we're going to start off sharing about who we are and what we do. There are 7 practitioners that are here tonight. We're going to be sharing a bit about who we are, how we practice, what we do. And then we'll be sharing about Lionsgate, and we'll be here to answer your questions. It's free to be here with us and listen and learn. And then it's $15 to ask a question, and you get insight from all 7 of us most of the time. All righty. Well, let's see. So, and we've got probably take 2 or 3 minutes, maybe 3 minutes to introduce. Oh, Val actually wants to share something in the beginning. I just remembered. Yeah. So first thing.
All right.
Yeah. So Val, go ahead.
So I'm going to introduce everybody to just take a moment to arrive together in this amazing Lionsgate energy and this beautiful event, and just take a couple deep breaths and kind of feel your feet under you and drop in and know that everybody's going to get what they're here for and more tonight as I play us in. Soar ready. I had my feathers replaced today, along my shoulders and the back of my neck. The old ones hardly catching the currents anymore. I had forgotten to molt and hung on to everything I'd ever had. Today, I let go. Pluck the disheveled and replace them with the grand. Part angel, part great blue heron, and downy owl feathers along my spine. I don the talon feet of hawk, firm, relaxed, unfettered by storms. I see the moon different, shadows as friends. I had a note, didn't want to come. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Val, for our opening. All right. Well, let's see. So we're going to go around, and all the practitioners are going to have an opportunity to share. So go ahead and share a few minutes, 3 minutes, of who you are and what you do and what you're offering tonight in your readings. Feel free to share your contact info too, and I'll put it in the chat again as well. All right.
Since I'm unmuted, I'll introduce myself. I'm Valerie Zarek, poetval.com. I'm obviously a poet and a musician. I'm a healer. I graduated from the Silva method and the Barbara Brennan method through the Integra School in Michigan. Beginning in the 70s, 80s, 90s, I've been teaching healing work since the 70s and am a shamanic practitioner. And I blend it all into the magic of everything. So I'm excited to see how tonight goes. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Val. All right, who else wants to jump in?
I'll go. I'm Susie Parker Goins with Blue Lightning Healing. I'm a channel, so I bring through your divine source so that you can establish a relationship with your spirit guides. And I also provide tools that you can use, techniques that I'll show you so that you can continue on your spiritual path on your own. I'm also an energy healer. I can do body scans to identify blocks, teach you how to clear them. I'm a Reiki master. I love doing past life explorations and showing you how to do it so that you can resolve issues that are dogging you and dragging you down in this life. I have podcasts called Blue Lightning Healing Meditations. They show up on Spotify and Google and several other platforms, but you can find them all at anchor.fm. And I have a YouTube channel. We'll see about that. But best way to get a hold of me is either through my website, bluelightninghealing.com, or through my email at susiepgoins@gmail.com. Looking forward to tonight. Thanks.
Thanks so much, Susie. All right, who's next?
I'll go. Hi, I'm Cindy McGonigal, and I'm a psychic medium. I'm a palmist. I do Reiki, especially Reiki on animals. That's why I became a Reiki master. I'm in the process of moving to a new vortex area, a giant portal in the desert of California, to do more of my earth work with nature. I have a YouTube channel that I invite everybody to join and look at some of the messages that are coming through that nature is providing for all of us. Plants that are in harmony with you and how to grow them, how to provide food for your family for the upcoming changes that we're all experiencing. For those of you who are and have past lives in Egypt, this is very, very an important time for you. You'll notice that if you're connected to Egypt at all, you'll be receiving body chills as I'm talking to you, and knowing that you're divinely connected to step up and step forward into this time. If I can help you to be a catalyst for your role with the earth, I'm here for you. You can contact me through either of my websites that are listed in the chat, and I look forward to working with you tonight, giving you a little bit of inspiration of numerology if you give me your birth date, and I will tell you what year you're in and what process you're going through. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Cindy. All right, who's next?
My name is Brandy Roberts. I'm a psychic, I'm an oracle, I'm a Reiki master teacher. I also do quantum energy healing, and I work with people to do mind, body, spirit healings, transformations. So a typical session with me is we have a discussion about why you came to me, and then we do the energy work to kind of get in your psyche and clear all the trauma out associated with what it is that we talk about. And then we talk about, you know, like maybe homework or next steps on your journey that you can take away with you. I work by donation, and I also really feel compelled to say that I work with angels and ascended beings. So when I say I'm an oracle, I channel the wisdom that they provide to me. So I sort of become a full body channel. I step out of the way and become a relay for your scenario, your experience for you, and how your guides are guiding me to tell you it looks. So that's sort of a little bit deeper look at what I do. Thank you. And I work by donation. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, great. Let's see. I think Kara, are you next?
Sure. Hi, everybody. I'm Kara James. I'm an intuitive astrologer in Portland, Oregon. My son is in the next room playing video games, so if you hear a little, sound here and there, that's what's going on over here. I work with people's natal charts. I work with transits and progressions. Basically, we look at your soul's intent when you incarnated, when you came into this world, of what you're here to do, be, and learn. And I interpret that via the stars, and I also bring in other intuitive and healing techniques along the way. While most of my clients have been individual folks working on trauma healing, understanding their story better, I'm moving into working with more and more entrepreneurs, solopreneurs in particular. I have a long history in nonprofit management and fundraising, so I'm bringing some of my business skills and money manifestation skills and combining them with my astrological work and helping people be more successful in their business lives as well. So that's me, Kara James, karajames.com, and I'm happy to be here tonight. Thank you.
Great, thank you. All right. Galactic Ashley is just joining right now, so let's see if she's ready to dash in and introduce herself, or if she wants a moment to get settled. Galactic Ashley, we're just where you can introduce yourself. Are you good now, or do you want to wait a moment?
I'll just go. It's okay.
Great. Take a few minutes.
um, so I am Galactic Ashley, and I apparently am on galactic time, or what I prefer to tell myself over and over again, divine timing and divine order, because lots of little old thought forms have been surfacing with the Lionsgate. Old stuff. Anyways, I'm Galactic Ashley. I channel divine guidance for star seeds, connecting them to their star families and galactic lineages. I use light language frequencies and work with your cosmic connections to facilitate high frequency healing, transmissions, and encoded activations. So I have, normally I would have closed my light language group already, but the universe is like, no, wait, there's still one, maybe two more people out there. And I'm like, okay, but we have like a week and that's it. So if you have been considering, or if you are interested in doing a 10-week light language activation and healing program, there is still a slot being held open for you. So I hope you know who you are, because I do not. And I will post some information about that. And I guess that is all for the moment.
Great, and I just posted the code for Galactic Ashley's training in the chat, so you've got it right there. All right, and so in addition to the 6 practitioners that you've just heard from, I'm Lorelei Shmayo. I'm an intuitive eye reader. So our eyes are the window to the soul, right? Everyone, we see so much information in each other through our eyes all the time. You might not realize, but if you imagine when you've seen someone with dark sunglasses and you can't see their eyes, you know that so much is missing. And as soon as you see their eyes, there's so much that's there. We pick up so much about each other, but we don't realize what we see. We pick it up subconsciously or intuitively. And I use a set of archetypes called Thrive Types that I use to describe what it is that we see in people's eyes. I describe your natural talents, your pacing rhythm, how you make decisions, how you most easily communicate, what motivates you, how you protect yourself, and what your big lessons are of how you see the world. So I use this to answer questions about your life purpose or soul purpose, and help answer questions about your career path, about people in your life. I can look at photos of them and tell you about them. I can do matchmaking to help you find people that are like you, soulmates, all kinds of things. I do hiring work. I'm doing a lot of hiring work right now, for example, where I read candidates' eyes to try to find people that are great for the role, for the culture, and for the team that they work with. So all kinds of things. I also do body psychology coaching. And so our bodies, the way body psychology, our bodies give us information all the time, and we don't realize what it is. So for example, if I talk and I'm kinking my head to the side and cutting off my neck, I'm blocking off my communication. Or if I just have an itch, well, it turns out it's in a zone that's connected to a feeling. So most of the time it's telling me about what my feelings are. I can use that for me. I can use my body to shift and change, and to feel fully and express, to connect ways I'm tied to the past. And I also can use it to understand what's happening for others. So all kinds of things with body psychology and my eye readings. So I'll be sharing that tonight as well. And all right. Well, so some of the background again for getting started. Let's see. And so practitioners, yeah, so all of you practitioners should have access to the doc if you want to see it, see ahead of time of who's asking questions, and everyone that might ask a question, we're asking for birth date information. So birth date, time, place, and date. And we have an astrologer, and we also have a numerologist. So we are all looking, some of us are looking at that. So tonight is the MeWe Awakening panel. So we have a format where there's 7 of us on the panel tonight, 7 practitioners. We're going to share, you just heard us share about who we are. We're going to share a bit about Lionsgate in a moment, and then we'll be answering your questions. It's free to be here to listen and learn, and it's $15 to ask a question of the panel. We have a couple of people in line so far that I see, so you know they're coming. So Dana and Diane. Not sure if I saw Diane yet, but Diane might arrive in a few minutes. Diane's not here yet. Yeah, and there may be other people in line too. So I'll go ahead and post again how you can pay if you'd like to ask a question for tonight. The link that I'll give you is for PayPal. And if you want to, you can also, if you click on the Facebook event, oh, I don't know if we put it in there or not, but I can also give you a link to Eventbrite. Maybe we put it in the Facebook event too. You can pay through Eventbrite. And if you need to, you can message me and we can connect and I can put it through Square on my phone. So, or Venmo, all kinds of ways to do that. So we're going to go around and share about Lions Gate. Maybe I'll just read a little bit of what we have in the event. So every year around the 8th day of the 8th month, August 8th, and today is August 7th, there's a cosmic alignment called the Lions Gateway. At the Lions Gate, there's increased cosmic energy flowing between the physical and spiritual realms. The Lions Gate, with ties to ancient Egypt, has been observed and honored as a time of great energetic influx and activation for thousands of years. At this time, there's an alignment between the Earth and the star Sirius. As Sirius rises in the sky, Orion's belt directly aligns with the Pyramid of Giza, and from our perspective on Earth, it appears that Sirius, the brightest star we can see, comes closer to Earth. The star Sirius, which represents abundance, harvest, and fertility, is twice the size of our sun and 26 times brighter. It is a big source of spiritual light on the inner planes. This alignment is called the Lions Gate, or Lions Gateway, because it occurs when the sun is in the astrological sign of Leo, the lion. As a zodiac sign, Leo is associated with the heart center and represents the individualized expression of the divine. So many of the practitioners are more familiar with Lions Gate than I am, so you'll get to hear all sorts of insight as they share. And I think Val has another gift she'll share as we get to her part. So practitioners, who wants to go first in sharing about Lions Gate, the meaning of Lions Gate to you, how it will impact your readings tonight, just anything around that you'd like to share. Go ahead. Your readings and your healings tonight. I'm open.
I feel like with the energies coming through, it's all going to be intensified. What we're being asked to do is to breathe and to relax into the changes. We've got so many changes coming at us. And so it's time for us to actually stand in the flow of it. The Lions Gate is focused on 8-8, but it's actually like a week or two on either side of it where the energy is open and it allows us to acclimate to it. I feel that what we're being asked to do is to question the old patterns and challenge our old paradigms and ask yourself if you're ready to shift yet. And if you're not, getting in touch with, not only past lives or with these old patterns that are so deeply entrenched, questioning them and being willing to let go and to like, it feels like it's like we're cracking through this old, like this archaeological dig of old thoughts and old ways of being. This is allowing us to shift into a new dimension, into a new way of thinking. And it doesn't have to be hard. We choose to make it hard because I guess it feels like we like, oh, we have to work for this. We have to earn it. It's like, we don't have to make it as hard as we always seem to. Wouldn't it be interesting if we all took time to just breathe and call in our guides or ask for that divine support to make the change with grace and ease? It's going to take time for us to get used to the changes. But again, it's that breathing and relaxing into it that allows it to happen with less stress, with less upheaval. And that's what I've got right now. So thanks.
That's great. Thanks, Susie. Who else wants to share?
I do. Okay, so I channel a lot of beings of light, and I tuned into the Lord of Sirius to ask about Lionsgate. And some of the awakening thoughts that I received was to remind you that this Lionsgate is actually from July 23rd all the way to September 15th. And it's really about activating your highest potential in this lifetime. It's activating loving yourself from your heart. I mean, let's get real. It's all about your heart and how you love yourself and how you bring it out to the world. All of you probably have been seated with the codes of light in your hands. As a palmist, I can see that. But in your hearts, you already know. I mean, you wouldn't be here if you didn't know that. I want to remind you that you can always know that you're on the right path because you'll see synchronicity in everything that you do. I want to also please remind you to use the frequencies that you can, sound frequencies that is, that are available on YouTube for clearing you at night, you know, and to keep you accelerated during the day. You can use tuning forks, you can use your voice, you can use drums, and just relax knowing that you're in the right place at the right time, and connect with people. You'll know it by their voice. If they're right for you, you'll know it from your heart if they're right for you. And so I welcome all of you to step up and step out. We're all in this together, and let's make it a good time. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Cindy. All right, who's next?
I'll go.
Great.
My name is Brandy Roberts. Oh, am I on mute? Yeah. And so I don't really study astrology. And the data that I get comes mostly through meditation. So when I was asking about how to present information, at least from my perception for the Lionsgate for tonight, really what called to me was from my Oracle deck, this Archangel card, which is Archangel Orion. And I don't know if you can see him without a glare. Thank you for manifesting your miracles in my world. Archangel Orion, the cosmic physicist, helping us identify our own multidimensionality, stepping out of our personal boxes and exploring what it means to embrace what's new, embrace what's next. Tell us, you know, that my eyes are not deceiving me. I am observing things that, you know, I can't really find a textbook that says is there, right? Times are changing. Thoughts are changing. We are coming into alignment with what it means to be a human being. And we are going through what is called a human condition. Many of us are going through challenges right now because we are faced with things that we haven't dealt with before. And that's ourselves, our fears, those things, those patterns that keep coming up that we keep pushing back, going, oh, not today. I don't want to think about that right now. That's really going to get my nerves fried and I just can't handle that today. Well, you know, that day has kind of come. You know, it's really time to take a look at yourself and go, okay, why does this keep happening? Why am I encountering the same situations over and over again? So for those that find themselves in that situation, August 8th, the Lionsgate portal, my understanding is that sort of the closing day is kind of like the hurrah day to get things settled. Like if you have a pro-con list, you want to have it done by tomorrow. So tonight, if I don't get a chance to say it later, I encourage everybody to go home, write out everything you fear, everything you hate, everything you love, everything that you desire, everything that you want out of this life, and then burn it. Don't keep any of it. Let it go. Let the bad things go and let the good things go to the universe to call back to you, right? Get it off your chest. Anyway, I don't know how long I went there, but that's where I'm coming from. Thank you.
Great, thank you so much. All right, who else wants to share about Lionsgate?
I'll go ahead and jump in there.
Great.
I'm getting more excited to be here by the moment because some of what I've been experiencing, you're all seeding and weaving together for me. And it's hard to find people to talk to about some of this. Before I continue, as part of my intro, I had my new book came out 1 week ago, Soar Ready, Medicine Poems for a Changing World. And Soar Ready is the poem that I recited in the beginning. So poetval.com. So on March 15th, I did a shamanic journey to the coronavirus. And I wrote a poem about the journey. So I'm gonna read this poem and talk about it. So Journey to Coronavirus. Well, I'm gonna tell you about it and then read the poem or blend it. So the first line is, she's a goddess. So I did this journey to coronavirus, and in front of me was a golden goddess, really relaxed in a non-ornate throne. I actually felt like it was the throne that previously the god Mars would have sat in. And it's funny to say a four-legged throne because all thrones are four-legged, but it seemed very, very important to say four very steady, strong pillar legs. And she's sitting there calm, bright, beaming in the golden aspect of Sekhmet. This is Sekhmet. Sekhmet wanted to be on here with us. Sekhmet is the lioness goddess of Egypt. And so in Egypt, one reason this is considered the time of fertility, where Sirius may have a connection to fertility, is this is when the Nile flooded. So all the fields got inundated with water so the crops would grow. So it was a really important time, the Lion's Gate in Egypt. And if you go back 6,000 years in Egypt, and you drop Orion, the constellation Orion, onto Egypt, the belt is where the three pyramids are, and everywhere a star touches in Orion, there's a pyramid in Egypt. And the Milky Way would be in direct alignment to the Nile. And man, when you're on the Nile, you can tell you're on the earthbound Milky Way. It's very amazing to be there. So I met her as this calm, bright, golden goddess in the aspect of Sekhmet. And Sekhmet is the feminine face of the sun, the lioness goddess. And so you would say corona, the corona of the sun is Sekhmet. And so she told me it's the quieting. Now Sekhmet has been known to wipe out full swaths of humanity when we're way out of alignment. You can just see like how a cat might discipline their kittens or something, how they can be kind of fierce. Sekhmet can wipe out a lot of people. She has no problem with that, to bring us back to an alignment. And she said, this is the quieting. So we need to get quiet so she doesn't have to do more to quiet us. And look what we did. We stopped the world. She was so proud of herself. She was just beaming, like just pleased. So she's a goddess, calm, bright, sitting in the golden aspect of Sekhmet. She says it's the quieting, for us to be quiet so she won't have to. And then she showed me that our protection in this is akin to frog medicine, which is the essence of water. And she said, so you know how everybody said, wash your hands for 20 seconds. How do you know it's 20 seconds? Because you sing happy birthday twice, right? Isn't that what everybody said in March? So she said, our protection is akin to frog medicine, the essence of water. We are not washing our hands to kill the virus, but as an offering, water running over our palms as we sing. So we're offering to her as we sing and wash our hands. Also, the corona and crown in that golden energy is connected to the heart chakra. But there was another aspect of this that was really exciting that I want to bring in, and that's that for the last 2 years in my shamanic journeys, my guides have been handing me scrolls, and they've been showing me places that may be connected to Akashic, particularly the Sphinx, the whales, and then of course the dimensional Akashic. And they kept giving me scrolls, and I finally said, why are you giving me scrolls? Oh, this is my Akashic. Do you want me to read my Akashic records? And they said, no, it's time for you to write them. And now the Akashic is a dimension. It's like a library where everything exists that ever was or will be. So I asked, how can we write the Akashic if it's everything that ever was or will be? And they said, you're supposed to now write them. And I thought, we're breaking into a new paradigm. What does that mean? How are we going to get there? Well, how brilliant to stop the world from moving, to move into the new paradigm. And if there's a new paradigm, there would be no history, and we would be creating the future. So Sekhmet's partner is Ptah in Egypt, the god Ptah. And it means I speak, I create through speaking, abracadabra. Whoosh. I breathe, I speak, and reality comes from my words, abracadabra. And that's Sekhmet's partner. So we are creating the new paradigm. Behold, everything being made new. We are creating now consciously, and this group is so powerful to do this. And with our words and our thought seeds. So at this point, everything's a tool. Wash your hands, write something, find a poem, pick up a rattle, hang a prayer on a tree. Everything heals everything. And we're just, it's the new paradigm. So welcome, and thank you for letting me download and be here with you.
Thank you so much. All right. Who else wants to jump in and share about Lionsgate? Role practitioners.
Hi, I can. Sorry, Lorelai, I was busy putting some people's charts into my system. I'm Kara James. I'm an intuitive astrologer, as I shared earlier. And that said, I'm kind of new to the Lion's Gate. I'm excited to be here with you all. I haven't worked a lot with fixed stars, which Sirius is one of. I work mostly with planets and asteroids and nodes and all of that, but I understand the power of the time we're in. And this really is a powerful year. I mean, that's been pretty clear to everyone, just the way things got started off with the coronavirus, of course, and racial injustice issues being brought out. And we astrologers came into the year knowing this was going to be a game-changing year. We were starting 3 potent cycles, one that happens every 30-ish years, one that happens every 20 years, one that happens every 13 years, and they were aligning this year, all related to the sign of Capricorn. So there's this sense of shifting authority, shifting power, coming face to face with abuses of power. We're seeing this every day in huge ways in different aspects of our society. So quite a potent time, and we're moving into an even feistier portion of the year. If you follow astrology, you know Mars is now in Aries, and Mars is squaring off with all the outer planets that have really got us moving with COVID and got us stirring up all of this stuff in society. So it's a really feisty time. A really challenging time, especially this last few weeks and the next month or two. We have a lot to work through. And especially right now, if you're a water person or an air person, if you don't know astrology, that doesn't mean much to you, sorry, more of an emotional, intellectual type of person. We've got all the planets in fire, I shouldn't say all, most planets in fire and earth right now. So you might feel a little bit of like a fish out of water if these are not your elements. So lots of tension in the air, and in particular today, there's just taking a peek at my notes here. There's a lot around healing old wounds, working with the inner masculine. There's just that Mars is really getting stirred up. So lean into that if you feel so called in your questions. There's a lot of healing that's accessible to us in particular with this Lionsgate energy, with the moon and Chiron joining in Aries, and Mercury trining and saying, hey, let's talk about these things. Let's really open up whatever messages want to come through around that. And it's also just a time right now where we're really feeling the need for freedom. There's this restless energy. Of course, yeah, you're like, I know I've been stuck in my house for months, but you may be feeling that even more in this particular season. So just pay attention and keep flowing, keep working with the energies, and I probably could talk on and on, but I'll leave it there, and we'll hopefully have a lot of time for your questions because of it. So thanks everybody. Kara James, happy to be here.
All right, great, thank you. I'm getting birth date information from people. We've got 5 people in line with questions. All right, practitioners, anyone else wants to share about Lionsgate opening and activation?
I can say a couple of things. So, okay, let's see. Without saying all of the things, I will say some of the things. So this Lionsgate specifically is from the information that I have received, is the cats are here. They have this joke and they always say that they make me feel like I have a hairball in my throat, and it's usually the feline beings that do that. So it's not like I want to cough, it's just I want to like hack up something. So what I understand that this sort of 2020 Lionsgate is about is it's really about gaining more clarity. And so it's almost like you can have more clarity when you've been living with more distortions coming up, because it seems almost opposite of what we've been living, because we've been having the coronavirus and all kinds of movements, and the Black Lives Matter movement and the presidential elections, and all of these things are coming up, and people are being asked to be at home with family, and they're really being forced to look at relationships. And so all of these fields of distortions, including ancient timelines from the earth, are coming up. But in all of these distortions, and when I say distortions, I mean belief systems, old paradigm perspectives, thought forms, things that no longer serve you, things that are unconscious or conscious that are affecting and influencing the way that you live your daily life, and that are really affecting you from a unification process of bringing your divine self into this body and accessing all of your multidimensional aspects. So the opportunity, and whether Lorelei was consciously or unconsciously aware of this, the fact that she had a letting go awakening panel not too long ago was exactly the thing exactly the energy that was needed to prepare for the Lionsgate, because we have this opportunity to see our distortions, love and accept our distortions for however we co-created them, whether they were brought on through childhood or whether they were a belief system that we developed in order to for self-preservation purposes or not. It doesn't really matter. The point is that these distortions affect the way that we are able to perceive and receive information. So it's like our glasses are blurry, and it's oftentimes why the beings will say, if you are not doing something or not walking on your path because you're waiting for your parents or your husband or your wife or somebody to see you clearly, you may be waiting your entire lifetime, because people have certain distortions that are affecting their clarity, and that doesn't have anything to do with you. It just matters how you heal and the clarity that you are seeking in your life. So letting go, working on allowing everything that has been coming up, especially the past few weeks or the past month, this year, and letting these fields of distortion or these belief systems and thought forms just come up and release them. So the Lionsgate is here to just like suck up all of these things that you are been trying to sort of like work through or dump. And what they, one of the questions I asked them was why, because a lot of times the feline beings come in, and then this council of light, which is very masculine energy, always comes in and surrounds them, but it's the felines that are always speaking, and they bring in this magenta ray of divine feminine energy, but also the magenta ray connects with our soul star. So we're asking to not only start the integration process, but being able to understand the next level of unification. So unifying our divine selves with our earthly selves and our earthly body, because we're not here so that we can long for the stars or long for these other lifetimes or places that aren't in the infinite now, or that aren't in present, but it's about having this presence in the present, knowing that you are accessing everything all at one time, and unifying that in your field and activating the divine human DNA in you by bringing these higher frequencies in through you. So it's not just about balance, but what they were showing me when they spoke like that and how they presented themselves to me was that they are bringing a unified energy field. So while we are working on balancing divine feminine and masculine energies, ultimately we're trying to create a sacred union or a sacred marriage within ourselves so that we no longer have to worry about balancing. And this is part of being here at this time in general, is that humanity having the human experience is about understanding that polarities are just a part of this density, yes, but that those are part of the old paradigm. And it's about taking these polarities and making them not either or, but one and. And so this is sort of the main messages that came through. The peak of the Lion's Gate is 8-8. I always remember it by 8-8 Lion's Gate. So I find that it's an exceptionally powerful time for anybody that remembers past lives in Egypt. I love Sekhmet. She brings lots and lots of fire. I think she's a great goddess to work with at this time because she is a powerful, takes action, but she also holds all this divine feminine energy. So she's embodying sort of both of these energies at once. So I will stop myself. Otherwise, I will just continue to go. So.
Okay, great. Practitioners, anything else you want to add about sort of setting the stage for tonight? And by the way, we have the record number of people we have at one of our awakening panels. There are 49 of us in the room right now, and I can see all of us at one time. Great. Yeah, so practitioners, anything else you want to share?
Lorelei, this is Kara James. I just wanted to remind people, if you have your birthday, time, and place, that will help me be able to look at your chart. So you can go ahead and message that to me privately or send it to Lorelei and she'll get it my way. Thank you.
It's great. And we've got 5 people in line with questions, and we've got birth date information on all of them. So we've got Dana, Diane, Hannah, Desiree, and Lisa. Just a reminder to everyone that this is recorded and we're going to post it up online. And so practitioners, we're going to spend like about 15 minutes per question. Yeah, and so depending on how specific it is for the event, you all may have more to share than I do. And yeah, I think we're getting ready. Yeah, so practitioners, anything else of the practitioners on the panel that you want to share before we get started? And then we'll be leaping in with Dana. Will be the first one. Okay, well, let's get ready. We're going to get ready to share. So I just want to clarify a few things before we start. So, oh gosh, there's so many things. All right. So when you ask a question, we may go deeper than you intend us to, or we may start talking about other areas of your life that we see are related that you don't want us discussing here. That's fine. Please just let us know. Wave your hands, unmute, and let us know. Let us know in the chat. We're here to honor you. So please let us know how to do that. The second thing is that we believe that everyone is intuitive. So if something arrives for you when someone asks a question, see, we have a 6th question came in. If someone arrives for you, I encourage you to write it down. Sometimes they float away. And when the person is done receiving from the panel, if you want to, you can chat them privately and see if they'd like to hear what came through for you. And please honor whatever they say. They may be full from receiving from us, and they may not want anything else. And then the third part is I encourage you, all of you, to listen in a way that you hear, like, what is here for you? How can this be of service to you? What is of value to you? In all the questions and in all of the answers. So we're all here holding space for each other and learning and growing, expanding, and activating together. All right. So it looks like Carol is now in line too. All right. Well, Dana, so feel free to unmute and come speak your question to the panel. Yeah, and so everyone, so we've got until just about 7:05. So practitioners, please be very brief with your answers. Great.
Aloha, everyone. So one of my main focuses right now is I really want to open up my interdimensional communication abilities so that I can have two-way communication with star beings, higher dimensional consciousnesses, and particularly my own, well, beings that I identify as my star family, the Arcturians. And I really would love to have that two-way conscious communication and also be able to travel to other dimensions. So if any beings or consciousnesses have any advice on how I can do that, that would be awesome. And overall, just feel like I've been preparing for the next phase of my life for quite a while now, and it's almost coming. And in this new phase, I believe I'll be stepping into like the next iteration of what my service work here on the planet is, and sort of just new connections, hopefully also bringing in my soulmate for this next phase of my life, who I don't know who that is yet. But if there's any inside information about either like my service work, what it's the next evolution, because I've been doing kind of the same thing for a while. I feel it's time for like the next iteration. And in general, what this next phase will bring, I'm curious about anything on that.
Oh, great, Dana. Thank you so much. All right, practitioners, who wants to leap in?
I do. I tuned in to Lord of Arcturus for you, and the message is that you're a master healer, and that you have an opportunity now to connect with the fleet, and the Arcturian helpers will want to band together with you. So you can, hopefully you meditate, and then you can step back out of your meditation and then request with gratitude. State your name in the I am form, your full name, and then ask the Lord of Arcturus to assign a fleet to help you to activate those Arcturian frequencies in you. I also see for you that you have a Pleiadian frequency, which is the natural healer as well. I look at Arcturian frequencies as those of the heart, and I look at Pleiadian frequencies as the healer's healer.
Interesting. I do both. My work has been about both of those.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thanks for being brief too. All right, next practitioner. And if there's something else that arises for you while the others are sharing, please, we can jump into.
Hi, this is Brandy. And about your spiritual connections, how do you perceive them to be now? Like, what is your communication with your guidance system now?
Like, I know that I have a lot of support around me. I kind of feel energetically supported, but I have very little that comes in words or anything concrete that I can understand as like a specific message or anything like that. And that's what I'm hoping to uncover.
Yeah, thank you. So the thing is, is we always want to kind of have it our way with communication. And we kind of go, you know, I really want you just to come down here, speak my language, sit right next to me, look me in the eye and tell me what's going on, right? The thing is sometimes we have blocks in our psyche that if they really did open up that floodgate, other stuff would come in too. And I'm reading that on you. So sometimes on your spiritual journey, it really does happen when it's supposed to, because if it comes out too soon, there could be an aspect of it that isn't as understood, but yet it's in the same vein, the same flavor of the gift that you have. Does that make sense to you? Meaning, if we unlock some of your gifts before you're ready, and you have some sort of underlying trauma, that would be exposed too in some cases, and that's what I'm reading on you. Does that make sense?
Interesting. I always thought it was veiled. I think of it as
well,
veiled.
It is. It is.
I thought it was because my spirit wanted me to be more here on Earth, and otherwise I would just go up to the other dimensions and only be there. That's what I thought. But now I'm a little more integrated. I've been here a while. I kind of feel like ready for this.
Right. And you mentioned you want to astral travel, right? That would include floating up and going out.
Mm.
So right. So you're right. There's a block there. There's a block on that ability. And I just wanted to point that out because energetically, we can help you in all sorts of ways get in contact. But, if there's a fear with that contact, then it's still going to be blocked.
I'm not conscious of any fear.
Well,
of
right.
that. But you said there's a trauma that could be revealed or something?
Right. Yeah. So that's how I work. I read your sphere, and I can read that certain communication, the way that you're asking for it, wouldn't happen in this now moment because it's going to unlock something else that is under the surface. And that's what I do. I read the layers of you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So is there
And
potential to
just to
transform
let
that?
you, what was that?
Is there a potential to transform that, or is it just going to be?
Absolutely. Yeah, part of it is the conversation now, just you being aware of it, to go, I wonder what that is. What is that fear that I have? Do I feel like I have a fear? Maybe I should just ask myself the question, what is it that this block is for this communication, right? Sometimes that's all it takes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, great.
Yeah, but that's what I'm reading here.
I know we've got Susie in line. I want to just insert one brief thing. So I know, Dana, that you were a scientist for a long time. So scientist is the scholar talent. And when I look at you, as I've known you over the years and been with you in person, I have trouble seeing in some way that you have scholar. And so I wonder that you have teaching from your family that you need to be grounded, you need to be logical, it needs to make sense. And I know that you've moved so many ways past that, and I wonder if there's a little bit of that left that's in the way. So, and Susie's in line, and then Galactic Ashley's in line. Go ahead.
Hey, Dana. When you said the words, when you said that you wanted to hear the words and you wanted something concrete, in my experience with interdimensionals, they're like, no, that's a human concept. That's a human precept, and we don't do that. If you want to open up to the energy of it, and that will ask you to transcend a human form, but understand, because you still have not completed your soul's purpose, because you haven't completed your soul's purpose on the planet, you will be able to return to the body, because what is going on is that as you connect with your interdimensional guides and family, you take that energy in, and then as you internalize it or as you transmute it into a human form, you can send it out and allow yourself to send that energy out to words are so difficult for us. It will allow you to, the phrase here is spread the love. So open yourself up to the energy. Do not hear words, but you feel the energy and you feel that impact they will have on you. Yes, your life as a scientist, and you have past life experiences in which you were, no, it has to be this way. It feels you were Puritan in a past life, and when you came over, you were so upset that no one was following the rules. But it was a challenge to you because you were in a new paradigm, you were in a new world in which the previous rules you had held so closely, that had given you that stability, that foundation that you craved in that lifetime. You were in a new place, a new paradigm, and it shot all of it to hell, to be honest. And it was difficult for that lifetime to adjust. And so that lifetime comes forward and says, yes, flexibility is, they did not understand flexibility in a spiritual context. They said it was only this way. So it feels like not only did you have a Puritan going, you had some Inquisition going in there, Inquisition time going there. And they come forward and they say that they ask your forgiveness because of how stringent they were in what they were doing. And your forgiveness will allow them to move on and open up a new pathway for you. This is why this gateway is important to you, because it will allow you to release this old got to be in the box is warm and comfortable attitude that these past lifetimes brought forward. And so then you can release and open up to the new paradigm. Is that all you guys wanted to say? That's what they ask, is that you release those lifetimes with, thank you for living that life. I send you back to the light. And then the energies that you interact with your interdimensional beings, they are in divine alignment with you, and that will help you develop the gifts that you were looking for, that you are actually hoping for. We all have the gifts, but now you can open up to them. Does that resonate?
Can I just clarify who is asking forgiveness?
Okay, when I look at past lifetimes, I see personalities that come through. So it's not you specifically, it's an aspect of you. So I call them personalities. So you've got a puritanical lifetime. It was a man, and I can see him with the hat, that kind of Quaker oatmeal kind of hat guy. And so he was a pastor, and he lived very much in this. He tried to live the same way he did when he was in England. And then when he came over here, it was all just kind of shot. So there was a lifetime there in which he did not handle this transition well. There was also a personality. He was a Spaniard. It was another male personality who was part of the Inquisition. And there were people there that he condemned because they did not follow his spiritual path. So it is these two lifetimes that come forward and say, we need to go. It's time for you to release them. So as you send them love and forgiveness, saying thank you for living that lifetime so that you don't have to, they will be released into the light and return to the divine.
Oh, that's really interesting. I would have thought that I was on, well, I believe I had a lifetime where I was on the other side of that, one of the people being tortured by the people of the Inquisition or similar.
Absolutely.
For being a spirit.
Yeah.
But
everybody's got a lot of lifetimes, but the ones that come forward, at least when I'm doing things, are the ones that are most relevant to an issue right now. So you're experiencing a blockage with opening up to the divine, to this intergalactic, interdimensional experience. And it was these lifetimes that were so tightly bound by their existence that are coming forward, so you can clear those out and move on. But yes, you have been on all sides of whatever issue it has been. So you've been the lover, you've been the parent, you've been the child, you've been the abuser, you've been the victim. Everybody has been all of the things. But these are the ones that are coming forward for you at this time.
Okay,
Is that clearer?
I think so. And I'll listen again. Thank you so much.
Okay, great. And by the way, this is recorded, so everyone who asks a question, you can go back and listen again as well. And I think we've got Kara and Val left to answer, I think. So just everyone, just remember, practitioners, we have to be quick. We've got now a sixth question come in. All right, go ahead. Or seventh.
Hey, Dana. I'm so glad to hear that you've done healing work. When I pull up your chart, it's just everywhere. So happy to do you know your chart very well? Do you work with astrology at all?
I know it somewhat.
Okay.
But I'm not an in-depth astrologer, but I know it somewhat. But go ahead. I'm interested.
Just to confirm, you've been on the right track for sure. And I'm looking at future energies, and I'm with you on this next step up into the way you're going to be using your metaphysical gifts, your magical gifts in some way. I can see a lot of tension and pressure forcing the issue in your chart right now, which is exciting to see. And the piece about love life and the sense of a soulmate coming in, I also see highlighted in several ways in your chart, especially next June is where there's this sense of, okay, Dana's really in her element. You're manifesting, attracting, you're putting this extra energy out into the world, and that could easily be a time when a soulmate comes into your life. I'm looking at a form of astrology called solar arcs. It's very useful for predictive work. So there's that focus next summer, and then within the year or so after that, there's another piece that could easily be related to that as well. So I think you're you're sensing sensing that and feeling that come in. One, I was feeling more called to talk about that though, if I could for a minute. So in your natal chart, I can see there's this this strong draw to the ideal person, and you know, this dreamy version of someone. And so some questions to ask yourself as you're getting ready to welcome this person in is to kind of, you know, think about ways that can be loosened a little bit. If you know, if you have this, I mean, of course we can manifest and have this like perfect version of someone that that we want to have, but you might even start noticing the beauty and imperfection around you between now and then when you're welcoming this person in, starting to appreciate, you know, the crumpled flower, this or that. So you're kind of saying, hey, universe, I'm ready, but I know that nobody's got it 100% all together. They're going to have some rough edges. So just by kind of loosening that up a little bit, I think that could be really helpful for you as you're preparing for this person. And another question to ask too is how your spiritual career has sometimes perhaps even gotten in the way of relationship, and if there's been any imbalance there. There's some potential for that in your chart. This is a short, you know, a little thing here, but something else to just kind of think about is finding the balance between home and hearth and your big work out in the world, and seeking to find some you know, equal footing with those two things. I think will be really helpful as you move into the next year. So. And happy birthday, my Leo friend.
Thank you. I was getting that intuition also about like the ideal, and he just can't be like this ideal. Like I was kind of getting that energetically recently as well.
Exactly. I give him a little room to maneuver. Nobody's quite perfect, but yeah, just I would say keep working with your intuitive tools around that theme, and you'll do well.
Great. All right, so actually we've got another practitioner too. Galactic Ashley also has to share, and then practitioners. So we have people asking if they can ask more questions, so I don't know how many of us can stay late. So if you could chat me and let me know if you can stay late, that would be great. And then also practitioners, just to help us move through, I'm going to start timing us, and so I'll start holding up my phone when we get to 2 minutes after sharing, just so we can help get everyone have a chance to share. All right, Galactic Ashley or Val, so who wants to go next? And you'll both have a chance to share here. Oh, did Brandon? Trying to remember. Okay, some people can stay. Go ahead.
I'll just be real brief that, and it could be my training, but what I really get clearly is to stay connected to the earth and go in even deeper. So to ask for guides, sit by a tree or a stone, whatever really draws you as earth allies, and then ask for some guides to put you in a really safe way, and then show you how to go, how to come back. Really center here in the earth. This is our this is where it's really powerful, and it'll really help you. So thank you for your question, Dina. Have fun on your adventures.
All right, let's see. So Galactic Ashley, go ahead. Galactic Ashley, where are you?
Sorry. So really quick, I just want to say this is not a plug, so I'm going to say this first. I do think working with light language frequencies, when I say I think, it'll unfold in a second, can be very beneficial for you. So there's this is not a plug, I'm setting it over here. So Arcturians specifically, in many ways, are masters of sacred geometry. And to remember that sacred geometry is not always a shape, that sometimes it's actually a sound, a color, a vibration, it's a frequency. So when I tuned into your Arcturians, what I got was that they are spiritual masters, and then how they were identifying themselves is that they are doctors of light. So what this means is that I am getting for you to actually embrace the scientist part of you, because most of the people that come to me for readings, when they have a really strong connection to the Arcturians, actually are engineers or scientists or have a kind of scientific background in one way or another. And so the other thing that I was getting is that to remember that we are crystalline energy systems right? And the most important being the DNA and our blood systems. And so when you're trying to access from the universal energy field or access energy, to remember that that is also crystalline intelligence. So when you can work on your own body to activate the crystallinity within you, it will make a better vibrational match and resonate with the information that you are trying to access. And the Arcturians love love using tools. So if you can get a crystal and work with it, it can help you to create a crystalline interdimensional interface for you to have multidimensional connection without having to worry about disappearing or leaving your body. And then there will be a point where, and this is a belief system that I have, is that the dimensions and all this information that we're searching for, as long as we are centered, I prefer to use centered over grounded, in our heart space, the dimensions will revolve and evolve around us as our consciousness expands. So we don't have to go anywhere because there is no space and time. It's all right here. So the more sort of work and healing that you do with yourself to expand your consciousness, it's almost like the closer out there comes to you. And I am at 2 minutes and like 30 seconds. So embrace your inner scientist is, I guess, the key. And I can see you creating a fabulous sort of healing tool that you and your Arcturians make together in the future.
Great. And Dana, do you just want to share with people what you practice now and what science work you did? Because I know, but I think maybe no one else knows.
I worked as a researcher at the Heart Math Institute for 12 years, studying the role of the heart in consciousness. And I still teach that work. And I've always been about integrating science and spirituality. That's been part of my mission. But I also do healing work, and I'm very open to the spiritual dimension. So kind of a bridge, I guess, or integrator.
That's amazing. That's such an Arcturian mission. I love it. I'm so glad you shared that.
And I'm also very passionate about understanding water at an energetic and multidimensional level. That's part of what I want to continue to do.
All right, great. Thank you. I appreciate you sharing. I just knowing all that background, right? I wanted everyone else to know that about you too. Sweet.
Thank you so much to everyone for your input. Thanks so much. Really appreciate it.
All right. Yeah, very welcome from all of us. All right, great. All right, so I want all the practitioners to have a chance to share. So if you shared very briefly or you shared at the end, feel free to jump in earlier if you feel ready. Let's see, so Diane is next. I think Diane is here now. Okay, great. You are muted if you want to unmute and ask your question.
Sorry about that. Hi, today is kind of a personal new year for me, and I bear with me, I may get a little emotional. Tomorrow is the first anniversary of my mom's passing, and my mom was this huge force in my life, very negative. She was super abusive, very controlling, and I've done a lot of healing work on this, and from what I've found, we've had lots of history together as far as different lives and karmic things and whatnot, and I have done a lot of healing with that, so I'm not asking about that. But this last year has been the strangest year for me, because had you asked me last year at this time, I would have said I was an atheist. I was dealing with severe depression and anxiety, which has since completely been cured. Just weird year. But I've got different health issues now. This year has been a complete miracle after miracle after miracle after miracle, and spiritual awakening, like just crazy. I would think I was nuts if I didn't have people that around me that to validate what it is that I've been experiencing. Thankfully, and really great connection with spirit. But I'm just feeling really a lot of mixed stuff today, and really overwhelmed, and a lot of heavy shit, for lack of a politer way to put it. It's hard not to just get in my head today with the timing and thinking forward. This last year, I have really felt like I was just along for the ride. I really have been just going with my intuition, and if I felt like, okay, choose door A, I went through door A. There has been no planning whatsoever, and luckily it's all worked out. And I was just wanting to see if y'all had any insight, any thoughts. This was I figured I could use a little treat today. So yeah, decided to ask a question.
Great.
So, I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Who's that?
This is Brandy. Hi, Diane. Oops, darn it, I didn't pin you when you were talking. Oh, there you are.
Hi, Brandy.
Hi. So, I really feel the growth that you've had. And I recall from before really feeling your mastery, really feeling how quickly you were going to you sort of spread your wings, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm sort of feeling from you today is that you have done so much that you're really in a much happier space. So for you, for your yearly renewal, there's sort of a look back and there's a completely new you.
Yeah.
And that can also trigger, wait a minute, I'm not doing any of the same things I did before. I'm uber happy. Things are going so well. Why? We start to look for that habitual pattern, that habitual thing that's going to call us up and remind us of something, because that's what's happening right now. So you're on your way. Everything's great. Sometimes there's a little bit of anxiety around bliss. Believe it or not, we backfill when we cleanse, when we release, when we have new, we need to backfill that space. What gets backfilled is love and light. And sometimes when we have a lot of cosmic pressures, right, like we do right now, like calling up all sorts of things, well, you're kind of doing really well. And there's kind of a lot of people around you that are not.
Yeah.
And you're kind of wondering why. That's what I'm reading from you. And I'm seeing everything looks absolutely beautiful. And it's really a delight to see you.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Great. Thanks, Brandy. All right. Who else wants to share?
I do. So I just want to tell you, you finally freed yourself, okay? Which is really great. And you're ready now for your awakening. And it's coming every day. I want to encourage you, please, to write your dreams out, because you're actually having prophetic dreams.
Yeah.
You have so much natural healing ability. The only thing is that you really need to be careful about what you're eating, okay? I don't know what your diet's like, but be careful if you have allergies, to certain foods. And you really have, your heart believes in helping the earth. You're an environmentalist, and I want to commend you for that. Step up in that role. And you're being naturally guided to become an energy healer. And you know it inside you. I know you do. And you have a real sense of what's right and wrong, which is great because it's needed at this time. So thank you again for spreading your wings and becoming who you're truly meant to be.
Thanks so much, Cindy. Go ahead.
I'd like to share. Hi, Diane. So nice to see you here. Thank you so much. So I'm using some shamanic tools tonight, and I've been sitting here rattling and seeing what comes up for you. And what I really saw was like you walking down the center, and there's like a wave of, they're kind of just figures and beings, like what did I say it was? Yakking, outside yakking. Other people's stories, other people's stuff, and I see you kind of walking down the middle of it, unsure because of all this yakking. And what I saw coming in was that I see you having like a soul retrieval of a lost part. That's your innocence. Your innocence. Innocence is such an amazing freaking superpower. And I see that as your mom has passed now, that you're kind of playing with this playful, joyful, innocent nature, which is really powerful for you. I also see a cat. I don't know if you have a cat, but I see a cat around your right side around your feet. Do you have a cat? Yeah, I see this. Oh my gosh, you have a dog cat. But I see, so what I hear is that you weren't really allowed this joyful, playful, innocent part on this level, and to really embrace it and make play dates. Ask what that child self, that innocent self would love to do, and how you can bring joy in. Because yeah, I just see this, oh, but, and then there's this, yeah, but, yes, and here I am. So yeah, welcome. Innocence is just the most amazing superpower, especially in today's world. If we all broke into our innocence, most of what's troubling us, it would go away, especially in this country. Thank you.
All right, great. I know Susie's in line. Susie, if you want to jump in.
Hey, Diane. I pulled some cards, and the first one was instinct. So while your mother was alive, you were just doing what you could to stay alive, to survive. And now with her passing, it's okay to be all right with her being gone and with you enjoying who you are now. The next card was rebirth. And so you have gone through a rebirth, and you are rediscovering, well, you're more discovering who you are now, and that's all right. DNA is being shifted. Your karma has been fulfilled for her for now. So you can move on and go on to your healer aspect. The last card was Green Man. So you can get in touch with that wild side of yourself. But that wild doesn't mean like racing out into the part naked, but to take on and look at those things that you weren't allowed to then. Now you can start to listen to your own heart and to live it to the maximum and fulfill your truth. And you have all kinds of support, not only from all of us here, but from your guides. So thanks, congratulations, and I'm proud of you for getting through it. Well done.
Okay, great. Who else wants to share? Go ahead.
Hi, Diane. Let's see. I can't see you anymore. Where'd you go? All right. Well, there's a lot going on my screen here. I took a look at your astrological chart. Can you guys see Diane? Why, maybe I missed me.
I just pinned her video. Did it come up?
Nope.
Kara, if you find her, you can pin her video.
Okay. Sorry, guys. Hang on a second.
Am I back?
All right, and my son's being loud. Perfect time for me to start talking, everybody. Well, Diane, taking a look at your astrological chart, I can see the mother struggle. I can see, actually, I don't know if your mother had mental health issues, but there's an alignment in your chart that sometimes has a mother related to bipolar issues and things that make it challenging to be a mother. I also see her being really significant. Now I can see you. Really significant. Hang on a second. Mo. Really significant in terms of your spiritual growth and understanding. And I'm sure that your experience with her and her passing even have moved you into this space. This whole being atheist and now having a significant amount of spiritual growth is not surprising to me either, based on the way the planets are in your transiting your chart right now. There's a huge focus on wisdom and spiritual development and growth from several different angles. All the power planets that are making big shifts in society are helping you in those areas, in those ways, and also helping to transform how you see yourself in a really, really, really powerful way. You have a lot of helpful energy in your chart, which is a lot to say given how challenging of a year this is. And I also want to just point out that you have some significant accomplishment that you are going to be doing, that you're going to be bringing into the world in around 2026. like you're moving into a time period where you are preparing, gathering the resources, whatever it is that you need to make this significant accomplishment. And your voice is really highlighted in your chart. So I'm curious if there's some creative projects, book, something you want to say about society, about the stuff with your mom that wants to come out into the world in some way. May or may not be related, but just want to dangle this little carrot for you out there that you have a significant accomplishment that could make you known, that could certainly be big in terms of career, or something that you do in a public way.
Okay, great. Who else wants to share? Practitioners, anything else?
I have a couple just really quick things. And this is more of a reminder, sometimes stuff comes up because it's releasing. And like that's it. So I mean, it makes sense that you're feeling all of these feelings and that a lot of old thought forms and stuff are coming up. But what I'm getting, it's because they're coming up to go away. So don't have attachment to them. Don't try and hang on to them. You can think of the Lion's Gate, and you could set this intention and write it down as being this massive cosmic vacuum cleaner that's like, look, we will suck up anything that you have done the work that you have, and you have. I'm very clear that you have, where you've given it love, you've accepted it, you've let it go, and now the energy can just come in and suck all that stuff out, so that you can begin to explore this wonderful person, not that you've become, but that you've always been, but it was being masked by the projections of the distortions that were of your mother. And so if there is any sense of disorientation, it's because you're like this whole new kind of person. And whenever we go through a transmutation process, like we become something else, which means it's okay to mourn old parts of you and to send love to old parts of you, because that person or that part of you just doesn't exist anymore in the wounded way. So it doesn't mean that they're gone forever, but we bring these parts of ourselves into the whole of who we are. And then that's all that I'll say for now. I got a couple of things about childhood stuff, but we'll talk about it on Monday in class, actually, because I think it goes along with that. So just remind me.
Okay, great. Any other practitioners? I'm not tracking where we are. Maybe everyone has jumped in.
I think that's everybody.
Okay, great. Diane, just anything else you want to say, or anything briefly? Everyone was really good and quick this time.
No, that was great. Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much, Diane. All right, great. So next in line, we have Hannah.
Can I say something really quick?
Okay, go ahead.
To Diane and anybody else that has been doing, call it shadow work or whatever you want to call it, that when you have these successes and you go through these processes and you're claiming your sovereignty. So it's okay to celebrate that you are claiming your power and like celebrate your sovereignty. And that's for you and for everyone. So sorry, I had to say that.
All right, great. All right, so I think we said Hannah. Yeah, so Hannah, you are next.
Hi guys, sorry, I'm in the backyard with my chickens. I'm gonna try to make this quick, but I have recently in the last year done a lot of personal work. I've heard that I have some kind of healing dogmatic ability. I've also heard that singing somehow, a lot of my blurting out in the shower or the car might help me connect with my spirituality. I'm trying definitely more to do, more spiritual work. I recently I'm starting a new business venture and I'm really passionate about it, but I know that ultimately I want to do more energy, spiritual, just like total baby when it comes to the metaphysical world. And I guess made some like life commitments recently, especially having little children, that I feel like a lot of the commitments and decisions I've made is more based on situation and relationships. And I am having a hard time following my intuition sometimes. So I just wanted to get some guidance on specific areas that I can follow and specific things I can do to get me more in tune with that path that I want to go on. So I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, that's a great question. I love it. And by the way, I'll say that your daughter not only is interested in the camera and the computer, because little kids are, I think your daughter's part of your opening. So she's going to be interested in a lot of these things too. And I think that's part of how you're going to open. And yeah, I'm just going to share first, practitioners. So you've got scholar and priestess are two of your talents. So scholar's about absorbing information to build knowledge and share knowledge. So teacher. And priestess is about emotions, about inspiration, vision, passion. It's about seeing not only what's here, but seeing what's possible. So wanting to inspire and motivate people to stretch and reach for what's possible. But so scholar can have a tendency to get caught in wanting it to be right. And priestess, when it's second, can get caught in you thinking you need to be perfect or be so good or have so figured it out before you share. So I want to encourage you to share and let it be messy. Like just jump in and explore and just trust that it will unfold as you're in it constantly. That's how it will unfold. Just letting it be messy is part of the key to opening to your intuition. And I think your daughter loves crystals and things like that. And so it may be part of your journey too. And so that's a way that she will be able to be connected and engaged also. So you have some space for yourself. The crystals will help you probably also in being more connected to yourself and yeah, to all those things. Anyway, that's what I see. All right, practitioners, who else wants to jump in?
I do. Hi, Hannah. I'm so glad to see you, and happy birthday early. Your birthday being tomorrow. And I just want to encourage you to work with Archangel Raphael. He steps forward for you, reminding you that just to start listening to your body more and trusting what you get, and that you're getting all the right answers all the time. And you need to just validate that and just keep going, keep following your gut level feelings. You are a master spiritual teacher in this lifetime, and you already know how to heal people by what you create and what you bring through and who you join with. And yes, that call for music, it's inside you. It's time to play an instrument, use your voice, look into sound healing, and you're going to find that voice that really heals, okay? And follow your heart's desire, and follow your bliss. All my love.
Thank you, Cindy.
I'll go ahead. Hi, Hannah. This is Poet Val. So nice to meet you, and I love watching you and listening to you and your little daughter. Because you said I'm a baby at metaphysics, and all I see is, oh, you are such an old soul. And that it's so embodied. And I thought, well, if I have chickens and little children, I don't know that I would feel like I'm connected to my intuition either. But just as was just shared, you are connected to it. For you, I feel a big plant medicine connection. The plants on the land where you are, I think, have a lot to teach you. And what I really get is for you to make your children a part of it, to find what seems to take your energy or your biggest part is your children. So to start teaching them, if it's the plant medicine, to learn about that together, and to learn to sit in front of the plants quiet and experience it and ask them what their message is and what they have to teach you, and let the tools and the beauty around you be the teachers and be the tools, but to really make your children really make them a part of it, and then see where you're drawn, and let your children lead you too, and see where they're drawn, and see all of that as your medicine, and as your teacher, and as magic. Help them remember the magic, and it's going to ignite yours. You look like you live in a magical world, and boy, that's just it right there. So yeah, I'm really happy to meet you and see who you are. Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Hey. um, I'm going to reiterate a lot of what other folks have said. The sound healing is good. There are bowls, there's singing. Just, it looks like your daughter wants to sing. So y'all just start singing and being things. Kids are incredible teachers. So as you're showing them things, you let them guide it too. And being a newbie, it's easy to get overwhelmed by all the things. Follow the energy. Kids are really great at just following the energy. You think, oh, can't you just sit still? And it's like, no, go and do the things, and that's fine. But have the joy in it, that childlike wonder about it. And then with your intuition, what if you called it instinct? Play with how you see it, because I'm having a hard time with listening to my intuition. Follow your instinct, follow your gut, or just go jumping around like your kids do. It's okay. They're not mistakes, they're lessons, and you're going to learn something no matter what.
Thank you.
Great, practitioners. Thanks for taking care of all that for me for a few minutes. Who's next?
I'll
Brandy.
go. Hi, this is Brandy. And I have a question. Did I hear you say you're starting a new business or entrepreneur?
Yeah, I'm starting formulating my own skincare.
Formulating your own skincare. Okay, because you also mentioned that people tell you that you're a healer.
Yes.
Do you feel you're a healer?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I do. Like, I was tapping in, and I really feel that you have a lot of strength in healing abilities. And it's interesting that you do skincare. So is that something that you're also really passionate about, or like, are you creating it, or are you stepping into something like a resale? How does that?
No, it started with just my own like reactions and hormones and skin stuff and I just started researching ingredients and I just went with it.
Perfect. So for me, it feels like that is how you're sending out your healing. That is the modality. When you create your product, your healing goes into it. So I don't believe that they're necessarily separate. Just to give you that input.
I had a feeling that what I'm starting with the skincare business is going to also start manifesting more skills and abilities. So I just wanted to see.
Right. It's your creative outlet. It's not only that, it's what you're passionate about.
Yeah.
It's your creative outlet. You're creating that. Yeah. And that's going to bring out all sorts of things for you, but it's also going to, it is tying you to your healing abilities through the creation of it. Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, and that's the botanicals part too, I think, that I was seeing with the plant medicine.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Great. So I know Susie may have already jumped in to share, and we have Galactic Ashley and Susie online. So Susie next, if she hasn't gone already, go ahead.
No, I did go. I guess there was one thing, it's like, take your time, but I'll take my hand down now because I'm good.
Okay, great. Galactic Ashley, then it's you.
Okay. So I think it's interesting that you say that I don't know if you said you don't trust your intuition or that you want to connect to it better, because your intuition has been to work through your voice and your throat. And that's exactly like for you, I'm getting like the best pathway forward. And the reason why is because a lot of times, so it's what I call to free the divine voice from within. So to activate our voice, and when we activate our voice, that means that we are opening our abilities to communicate, and communicating when we activate our throat also includes our ears, which means that then we need to be in balance with listening and speaking at the same time. But when we start to feel stronger and feel more strength with our voice, when we are seeking guidance from what I call our soul's guidance system, or our higher self, or whatever term you want to use, we are more willing to explore, and we have less fear because our voice is activated, which means we begin to feel more comfortable saying, no, I don't want that energy, or no, I don't like that. So then we feel heard, we are able to create boundaries. So I think that the more that you work with your voice, however you feel intuitively guided, is actually going to help you feel stronger about giving a sacred no or a sacred yes, and actually getting information, which then will improve your ability to discern between the information, which then you can use and feel more comfortable following your inner guidance in your business. And just to not necessarily reiterate, but whenever you're exploring your metaphysical, like what are you going to do, just I think of it like an appetizer platter, and just explore all of it or whatever you feel drawn to, because there will be elements of all of the classes and things that you discover that you will then integrate and put into your skin products and into these products that you're creating. Because don't forget, a lot of times you can crush up crystals and put them in the products that you're making, or put Reiki or other sorts of energy work in it. So I'm excited for you. I think you're right on track.
Great. I know we've got Kara to jump in also. Not sure who else. Kara, go ahead.
Happy birthday. Nice to see you. I don't have your birth time, so there's some layers that are not available for your chart, but I can tell that you're incredibly, incredibly ambitious. So I have no doubt that whatever venture you choose to do, you're going to be incredibly successful at. Your moon is in Capricorn. This is someone who knows how to work hard, understands business, natural business person. And you also have Mars in Scorpio. So tenacious as hell. She's going to make stuff happen. Absolutely. And you're good with the details. You've got Mercury and Venus in Virgo. So you've got all the skills that you really need to be able to make something happen. And, you've got your sun is in Leo, and sometimes Leos are, misunderstood. People think, oh, Leo has this huge ego, but actually a lot of Leos are learning to be okay with having an ego, taking up space, expanding themselves and their creativity and their voice in the world. And so if that resonates for you, as you're stepping into this, this lion gate portal, you are the lion, you are the Leo. So I'm just kind of imagining you really opening up your chest, opening up your heart center, and kind of getting comfortable taking up space, because I do think that you're going to do some pretty amazing things. You do have signatures in your chart that relate to healing, that you have a call towards healing. In astrology, we look to Chiron, the wounded healer, and it's conjunct your north node, which is your path, your purpose, where you're heading. So the healer energy and your calling are tied together. I can't see exactly how that's going to express because I don't have your birth time, but it's clear that that's a big part of your chart. And you also have this connected with the planet Uranus, which can stimulate a lot of unusual forms of healing. So you may be doing skincare now, our charts evolve, and with us as we grow, you might be doing much more radical things later as you start getting really comfortable with your voice. And that's another thing.
I just want to, you're 2 minutes, so just if you can find a way to share the last bits.
I'll wrap up. Getting comfortable with your voice. You have genius in your chart. You might not be comfortable sharing it. So start finding avenues where you can really start to unleash that and get comfortable sharing your wild side, or things that you might not talk about with others, because there's a lot that wants to come out there. So thank you.
Great. All right. Any other practitioners to jump in? So just a reminder too, all of us are available to do work privately. So if you like what you're getting, contact one of us directly and do a deeper session with us. It's great. All right. And to Cindy, I texted you, but I haven't heard back yet. I know you're not here the whole time. So Cindy, if you want to jump in and thank you so much, Hannah. Cindy?
I just want to say good night to everybody. I do have something else happening tonight, and it's been a pleasure to share with you all. I'm available online and by telephone, however it works for you. Thank you again, and have a great life. Bye.
And I just put Cindy's information in the chat too, if you want to reach out to her. Thanks so much, Cindy, for being with us for part of the time. All right, great. So the 6 of us, the rest of us are still here. All right, Hannah, I know we didn't quite get a chance to finish up with you. Hannah, is there anything you wanted to share just in response to all of the messages that you got?
Yeah, I'm just there's a lot of busyness, but I'm just grateful to see all of you, meet all of you, and Cindy, she left, but she invited me here because it's my birthday tomorrow. So this Lionsgate thing was so interesting, and so very fascinating to learn everything and tonight. So thank you, everybody.
Great, perfect. Thanks so much. Thanks you got to be here while Cindy was here. All right, let's see. So next we've got let's see, I can mute anyone that's not muted. Okay, sweet. So next in line, we've got Desiree. So Desiree, you are next. I see you there. Okay, great.
Hi. How do I share my picture?
Well, let's see. So you're in by, did you come into Zoom by the Zoom app, or did you just call in?
I think I just called in. I might have the Zoom app on my phone, but it didn't ask me to download it, so I am on my phone.
Yeah, so it looks like you may, I know, it's so interesting. I can't see how I can ask you to start video. I don't know how to get your video on.
Hold on. Let's see here. Is it working?
Oh, yeah, it's on. Great, perfect.
Oh.
Sweet.
Awesome. So I've been on my spiritual journey for going on 3 years. I've been lately, the last week or so, been in a little funk. I've been releasing a lot, and I do expect it has to do with the Lionsgate. I was on your last call with letting go, and I mentioned that I had finished Reiki 1, and I've taken a mediumship course, and I'm about to take another mediumship course. I'm really ready to step forward and moving into the next phase of my spiritual path, my spiritual growth. And so I want to know what else I might need to do to continue that, because I do feel like I have some blockages occurring within me. And I know a lot of stuff is coming up to the surface, and I've gone through a lot the last couple months. I got out of a relationship that I thought was my twin flame. That was 8 months ago, and then I ended up getting laid off from my job, and it really gave me the opportunity to go within and really work on myself and love myself and work on my spiritual path, my purpose here. And so I've been ready to start a YouTube channel with really expressing, the topics of spirituality, and then also helping others connect, with their angels and guides and whatnot, relaying information. And so I feel myself wanting to kind of break free of this blockage that I have. And so I was wondering if I could get some assistance.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Great question. And it looks like, I'm not sure who's wanting to jump in, but whoever, Brandy also is in line. Val, was that you? Did you want to go first, or who was?
No, that was me. That's Brandy.
Oh, Brandy. Yeah, go ahead, Brandy.
So, honey, you're so poised. You said exactly what you want to do, exactly what you're doing in the right order. I'm not feeling any block at all, unless it's just taking that step to actually do it. I mean, I'm really not.
I think it's taking a step to actually do it.
Yeah. So, let's do it. Let's hit record on that on that laptop, and let's get that YouTube channel started. You're ready. You're ready.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's really all I have for you, other than I really want to tell you, you really presented well. Well done on your journey. Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And Desiree, that's what I got also, was practice, practice, practice. Yeah, you can take the classes, but you need to actually apply it. So I agree with Brandy. Go for it. Nothing's holding you back. Really, ego's holding you back, but you can go, no, I can do this. You got it.
Awesome. Thank you.
Hey, this is Val. I'd like to go. I'm drawn to offer you, so I have this little rattle I made out of turtle shell, but I carry a plastic egg when I go hiking that I can stop and put little pebbles into to make a rattle. Like, I'm into tools and letting things heal. And if it's okay with you, I'd like to do a little healing grounding with the rattle so you can feel what that's like. Is that okay with you? So just maybe even open.
Oh yes, I'd be delighted. Thank you.
Maybe even open your hands. Does this sound okay, or is it weird on the sound?
No, it sounds great.
And I'll let this go through to everybody who's listening here today to feel this clearing and opening and expansion. See, it seems to be expanding you. Phew. And expanding your beautiful feet right to the earth. Open and align your chakras. There's a train going by that's helping. So seventh into sixth through your throat, and then always connecting to your heart, and let it drop down right through your solar plexus, through your legs, root chakra, right into the earth, and all the way back up on the behind you. Your will centers coming into alignment. Feel like you want to just help you expand and drop into the earth bodily. That your body is really powerful and strong, and so to find these little tools that bring you back into your body, and then move from there. So I'm going to do it just to come back to present. Let the train call you back. See, everything's so cool. Sue. Thank you. Did you feel it?
Yes, my crown chakra was expanding as you were doing this.
Yeah. And your whole body, right?
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Right. I'll jump in and share just a little bit. So the phrase that keeps coming up for me is, I am worthy. So what's it like for you to say that?
I am worthy. It feels good.
And you say it again.
It feels like truth.
Say it again.
I am worthy. I am worthy.
And now see about saying it and letting the pitch of your voice drop at the end. I am worthy.
I am worthy.
Yeah, and go ahead and say it.
I am worthy.
And so say it where you emphasize different words as you say it. Right, so me, I am worthy.
I am worthy.
And then may I am worthy.
I am worthy.
How's it feel now? Yeah.
Feels good.
Yeah, great. So letting that sink in. That's great. That's great. All right, sweet. That's what I've got for you. All right, who else?
Thank you.
And by the way, I'll say you did a great job. It's breathing in between is really important, and you breathe just enough. It's great.
I have something to add real quick. This is Galactic Ashley. Actually, it's really funny because the very, very, very first things I heard, but I didn't really quite know how to tell you that, but then Susie just jumped in and said it. So it was like, I got that exact same thing too, was practice, practice, practice. So find people to what I call play with, to really start building this. I was hearing a train in the background somewhere, but like this force of a train of where you love practicing, where you do psychic practice circles, mediumship practice circles, play with your friends, sort of start creating a connection or collection of people around you to expand your metaphysical reach by finding people that are at a somewhat similar, I'm just going to say level of experience as you to practice and to play with, so that you can kind of grow together and you can begin to develop your own smaller community. And if you're feeling guided to do the YouTube, do a YouTube channel. I'm getting like, you don't need to wait. As long as your intention is to be of service to the people that you are able and capable of being in service to, you will be drawing in people that resonate with you. So you don't have to try and serve everyone or worry about whether you feel ready or are worthy to have a YouTube channel, because as you grow, the type of people that you begin to attract will shift. And then as you begin to explore more about yourself, then you'll start to find your niche, and you will begin to discover like what kind of medium you are or what kind of psychic you are, and start to sort of find your own, I'm saying identity, but it's based on other experiences and multidimensional experience and whatnot, and what your desires truly are. I do feel like that there are some, I'm just going to say star beings because they're not announcing themselves right now, but that they will be coming forward. It doesn't mean you have to work with them with your practice, but that there are a few star aspects that are wanting to come in and want you to explore and discover them. If you are ready to bring in a different sort of frequency or vibration. But basically, you are ready and you don't need to wait. And I think some of that is attached to worthiness, and we all feel that. And the universe is pretty good at just pushing you and making you expand more and more beyond what you thought you could do. So just let yourself get pushed, get the divine push.
Thank you.
Great. Oh, Brandy's got something else to share. Go ahead, Brandy.
I just wanted to tell you, as I was sitting here, sitting in your energy, it's like I just sort of wanted to point out kind of a gift that you have. When you're in people's presence, you have an ability to kind of cycle their energy and do a sweep cleanse. I don't know if you know that, but I want to let you know that you do it. Like, and I was, you know, when we were connected. Yeah, so set the intention to learn more about that aspect of your healing, because that's very powerful for what you can do for people. Yeah, I felt that very clearly. Yeah, blessings.
Yeah, that's
Thank
great. Just being in your energy, I totally feel the sweetness and the healing of that. Yeah, that's great. Brandy, thanks for mentioning that. All right, great. Kara, and then not sure who else. Kara, are you ready?
Hang on, I unmuted and then it looked like it muted again. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Okay, great. Hi, Desiree. Nice to see you. I
Hi.
took a look at your chart, and gosh, you've got healing all over your chart. Of course, it makes sense. We're here at a healing event, so we find a lot of healers in the audience, in the group. But just, I don't know if you've looked at your chart, you've worked with it, but I mean, just amazing. And Galactic Ashley talking about mediumship for you. Absolutely. I don't know all the details of where you're heading and what you're thinking, but you have significant, powerful healing abilities. And your entrepreneurship is really going to get highlighted in early next year because all the big power planets that are causing, you know, a lot of disruption on the world stage are coming to give power to your Mars, to give power to you as an entrepreneur, as someone with drive and power. And you have a lot of drive and power in your chart. And you got to move. It looks like you got to do whatever you're doing if you're up on YouTube or whatever. I mean, that's all well and good, but it's like you need to be up and moving your body and having kind of this adventurous component too. So I just want to, you know, share that with you because it's really clear that's going to be important. And then there's a lot of energy too around tribe, group, networking, doing things that involve getting multiple people together. So I think I heard someone else say that too, and I see that in your chart as well. So it's this sense of you as a leader of a group, you know, you as a community organizer of some kind makes a lot of sense for what I see in your chart. So I hope that helps as you're thinking about things. Oh, and the other thing is that all your planets were above the horizon when you were born. So this is a public person. This is someone that is often living their life in a public way. So I love the idea of you putting yourself out there on YouTube or whatever other platform that you feel comfortable with.
Thank you so much.
Great. All right, practitioners, anything else? Anyone wants to share? Oh, Kara, unmute.
Sorry, Desiree, there's one more thing. It's weird, I keep hitting unmute and it keeps muting me again. All the power planets too are pushing on you. So that's why you're feeling like now's the time. I got to do something. I got to change. You've got all the change-making planets pushing on your Libra sun at 21 degrees. So you've been feeling it for like the last year or two. And now it's like the energy is especially big saying, all right, it's time to expand. It's time for the change to happen. So I just want to say, like, if you're feeling frenetic, you're feeling like, what the heck is going on? It's just all part of the plan. It's all part of the timing that you're in right now.
Okay, awesome. I thought so.
Okay, great. Practitioners, yeah, anything else that's left? And sweet. All right, thank you so much, Desiree, for your lovely question and your lovely energy.
Thank you so much, everyone. Have a wonderful evening.
Great. All right, let's see. So next we have Lisa. So Lisa Whitmer, another one of our practitioners. in line.
Hi there. I feel like, since I'm sort of last, that I got a lot answered for myself, but I do still have a question that is in regard to the beings that I work with, who I know are very loving, but there is a part of my gift that is trying to come through. And my question is why do I feel threatened by my brethren? Because that's what they call themselves, is brethren. And they recently let me know just a little bit more about that. And they've been trying to, ask for forgiveness. And I get to places where I can forgive, but then there's just I feel like there's this huge blind spot that I just can't feel, I can't see, I can't hear what it is. But there's also an element in the third dimension that as I continue to learn to channel and speak about the things that I'm hearing and learning, there's a lot of rejection and retaliation from it, even though it's a loving message that's coming through. So I'm a little bit confused and like gun shy too. So.
Okay, great. By the way, I haven't seen you in a number of months, and your energy feels just that much more smooth. I notice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
right.
you.
So Brandy is in line.
Hi, I am just so
Hi.
happy to see you. How are
too.
you? Oh, okay, I already know that. You're asking a question. Sorry. And I just want to clarify something real quick. When you first started, did you tell me that you're working with interdimensional beings who are asking you for forgiveness for something?
Yeah, they've been working with me for a while, and there's I'm telepathically communicating with them very easily, but there's more to come from what they're here for, and I can't quite, when they ask for forgiveness, it's like, I'm like, okay, I forgive you. But it doesn't feel penetrating to me. It's like I'm not really being honest about it, and I don't know why.
I'm a little confused why interdimensional beings, right? My perception is that our guidance is coming from the other side, right? Mm-hmm. So if the guidance system is there, the light beings are on the other side, we're trying to get there. I'm not sure, like I don't hear like for me, I'm a little confused. I'm a little confused on that. Okay. I really am. And because it's telepathic also, I'm just a little confused on that. And that's really all I have right now. And I'll chime back in if I get something else.
Okay.
Okay,
I will add that, I'm sorry, I will add that the information that I know so far is that they were with me at another lifetime, and they're here to help me heal what they took from me at that time. So there's trauma in our relationship.
Oh, okay. So okay. That's a little bit different. I'm going to sit on this for a minute. I'll chime back in.
Okay.
Great, thanks. All right, who else wants to go?
Okay.
I'll go ahead and go. And I don't know if I'll speak the whole thing, but my first question about this is what level you're at. Like, could you be really hanging out on the astral plane, on the 6th level on the astral plane? Galactic Ashley's saying no way, so she doesn't know.
She knows me really well.
Pardon?
She knows me really well.
Okay. So do you say no, there's no astral plane involved in it?
I'm not even sure I understand the question, but
okay.
I would trust Ashley's perception. And I also heard that interdimensional from Brandy, that word is not exactly the word that they would say they are.
No. Yeah, again, I'm really being drawn to talk about tools, empowerments, and our benevolent, loving helper spirits, our benevolent, loving helper spirits that I call the guides. And I've spent a lot of time doing shamanic work and getting to know them on a lot of levels. So if I wanted to travel to the galactic something, I would say, okay, the guides who are going to bring me there and bring me back and protect me and teach me, and who would be in charge of that in my benevolent highest good. Show me how you want me to work with you, how we'll go, how we'll come back. And so whenever I'm going to do something, usually it's guidance who call me to it. But if I want to do something like be able to do extractions from energies from people that don't belong, or soul retrievals, or psychopomp, where you help people cross over who have died and aren't quite getting through. I journey and I ask my benevolent helper spirits to show up and introduce themselves to me and show me how we're going to work together and what they need of me, and how we'll do it, and how we go and how we come back. I make sure I'm completely back every time. And then a lot of these questions become clear. I get a lot of information that way. So boy, that help is really there. You know, there's a lot of beautiful intercessors there who can jump in there too. So thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, now we've got Susie online.
I'm going to say something really quick. I'm giving my 2 minutes to Susie so that she can have a little bit more time to look into this past life, because I can talk to Lisa anytime.
Cool.
The lady from the galaxies offers me her time. Thank you.
Yeah.
But, so Lisa, what I'm getting is that I'm getting a real strong hit with this past life. It was, okay, I want to preface this with, not everybody can be somebody famous, but I feel that a lot of these historical figures who are well known, like throughout time and space, can have portions of their souls break out. So it takes more than one aspect to make a bigger thing. So I'm getting a really strong hit that the brethren pushed you forward in this previous life, and it feels like it's a Joan of Arc kind of thing, which is why I'm prefacing it with you're an aspect of that. She was young and she took the reins and she kind of grabbed everybody by the ears and said, "You're stupid, you need to listen to me." And then it didn't end well, if you wish. So this is what they're asking for that forgiveness for. This was a lifetime. It feels like they knew what was going to happen, and yet they still underestimated what the human response was going to be. That is the forgiveness they are looking for throwing you out under that metaphorical bus. It was a great big bus. It was like a tank. And they understand that in your in-between lifetimes, we have that time in between times in which our soul heals, and we make plans for the next lifetime. And so it felt like you kind of jumped right in between that one, because that lifetime that they were such a part of, you were so shaken up that you're like, I got to get back on the horse. I got to get back on the horse right now. And it was a very quiet lifetime, and yet you still had those. It was still niggling at you. You would have nightmares about that lifetime. And so what they are asking for now is that since you were more conscious, more aware of past life and energy, and you're on your path, they understand now that there's limitations that a human can have, particularly in our linear time frame. And so when you're saying, yes, I forgive you, now that you have the fuller story, you can say, I understand what happened. And yeah, and there's nobody's berating each other. There's no guilt. I don't feel any guilt in your soul line. And they're just like, humans, what are you going to do? And so that, I think, is what it's about. Does that resonate?
It does. I've met someone recently who's sort of inspired some, I wouldn't necessarily call them memories, but feelings of familiarity. And Joan of Arc actually passed through my mind recently, but of course I was just like, oh yeah, right.
I know. People have come to me telling me, oh yeah, this person told me I was blah, blah, blah. And I'm like,
right.
No. But this is the first time I feel like it was valid.
Wow.
So you are an aspect of the Joan of Arc thing. And they're saying she doesn't have to do that again. We're okay
Right.
with that. We want, though, that they really want you to have the skills that she had, that connection with divine, and to be able to speak that truth and to send the love and healing out in your work. That's where they're at now. And they're not going to get you burned up or anything. Okay.
Thank
So
you.
thank you. And thank you, Galactic Ashley. You're awesome. And so are you, Lisa. Thank you all.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Great, sweet. All right, anyone else have something to share? Kara, did you have anything? And I can share briefly if you don't yet.
Sure. I feel like my approach is not as helpful for your specific questions right now, Lisa. I do more intuitive work.
Okay.
I have a different process that I'm not doing tonight. But I do see there's a ton of energy in your chart around your Mars, your initiative, your drive, your anger, whatever, you know, there's a lot of pressure, a lot of planetary pressure in that aspect of your life. And so, and I hear this, you know, maybe echoed in this whole forgiveness piece of these beings that are working with you in some way. I don't know. I mean, you're so intuitive. So your ability to talk to spirit is so incredibly strong, as most people tonight. You know, again, all that we attract tonight. So I trust that you will know what you need to know. I absolutely do. There is an interesting thing in your chart, if you know it, where Chiron, the wounded healer, is square to the nodes. So there is this sense of healing past life stuff, and it can relate to spirit. So as you're sharing your story, I'm like, I could see how I would not go there, not knowing your experience and story, but I go, okay, there is some kind of a forgiveness healing story playing out related to past lives and relating to spirit. But I just offer that to you in case it means something. But there's a bigger shift I see happening in your chart around career and possibly changing how you earn income in the coming months and the coming year. So that's some of what my eye drew upon, and maybe that's some of the pressure on your Mars, on your entrepreneurial spirit too. So,
yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Great. And like, yeah, not exactly my area either. And I want to share just a little bit that came in. I had a kind of like a spike of energy when you said brethren. And I didn't know exactly what it meant, but I felt male to me and something about that being important. And I looked it up and it does. So it's, so fellow Christians or members of a male religious order, archaic plural of brother. So something about male energy for me, and I'm sort of playing with what it might be. And I can't remember enough of your story that you've shared before, but the images that are coming to mind that settle the most are, it's almost as if there's a group of brothers that are protecting you, and there's something about not needing their protection anymore and really knowing that you're protecting yourself and that you're safe yourself. So that's what, yeah.
I like that. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, because I'm a woman and I'm working on healing that, a lot of aspects of just being a woman in this life and other lives, and helping to heal other women at this time. So that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, there's something about knowing that you're like as strong as like owning your power in a way that it's historically right, just so much easier for men to own their power, or particularly while they've not allowed women to own their power. There's something about really owning that strength and trusting that in you and your lineage.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, practitioners, anything else here? Okay, great. Thank you so much, Lisa.
Yeah, thanks everybody.
All right, great. We've got 4 more people in line with questions. So we've got Carol, Deborah, Chris R., and Trenton. All right, great. So Carol, if I'm pronouncing it right.
Yes.
All
okay.
Right.
So I've been kind of hobbling it both back and forth, so to speak. I've been unable to make up my mind. And I talked to Ashley about it, I don't know, a week or so ago, but so, whew, so I feel like I need to, that there is going to be a need to my marriage to dissolve, the relationship to end. I really feel like the relationship itself has run its course. And I've been getting information about it, but what's unique is the fact that, I don't know, in relation to past lives, in this life, I relate to her, right? Very little have I gotten heartbroken and in my relationships. I'm the one that always is the leaver. So I'm questioning now whether or not there is some significance in that, or is it this lifetime I have to repair any other hurts prior.
So you're cutting in and out a little
Guidance,
bit as you're
if you
asking.
guys are picking up on anything.
Just
Oh, shoot.
you're cutting in and out a little
I
bit
know,
as you're
it's probably
asking.
my Wi-Fi.
Can you
Okay.
just summarize again, like the main point of your question? It clearly has to do with relationships and healing something, or
So in this lifetime, I have been the person that leaves relationships, and I don't know if it's tied to a past life where I have been wronged or hurt or whatever. I feel like my relationship with my husband is ending now, but there's another aspect that keeps bringing up, like, why am I always the leaver? You know, in this, am I just giving up too early? Is there something really to fight for? Because I felt like in the beginning it was meant to be, because prior to us getting together, I heard in my head that he was going to be my husband. But right now I feel like really strongly that the relationship has gone to its limit. There is no more. There won't be any growth on his part.
Okay, great. Yeah, we got that this time. All right. Thank you so much. All right, practitioners. Who wants to answer?
This is Brandy. So, you know, when it comes to relationships, we want to talk about the heart. I really don't think it matters who leaves who first or who left who last time. What's really the question is, do you love them? Do you want them? Do you have issues that you can overcome? Is this worth fighting for? Right? Like, can we kind of get out of who did what to who when and really just get to, do I really love this man? Does that make sense? Because we
Yes.
can really put a lot of energy in a teeter-totter back and forth, or we can decide right now that I think I'm just going to ask myself the question if I love him. And if I don't, then it doesn't matter who leaves who, because somebody new and somebody Mr. Right for you is going to be coming into your life. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. So I don't think it's as important to know that sort of thing for you right now, personally, like what I'm reading from you. I'm reading from you is, once you ask your heart that question, the decision's going to be made, and the who's and the what's and all that really isn't going to matter.
Okay.
Yeah. So just ask yourself the true question of, how do you actually feel about the person, heart to heart?
Okay.
That's what I'm getting from you, dear.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So kind of along with that, I feel that with past lives, we go and look at the different aspects of the same issue. So you have been the lever, you have been the stayer, you have been all that. But I feel that what's going on now is for a chance, since you said you feel like you've been the one who left all of these relationships, it's time for you to challenge that idea, like what Brandy was saying. You know, that's part of a karmic lesson is, do I always have to be the one to leave?
Right.
And if it doesn't suit you, then fine, do what you need to. But I haven't been getting any, the past lives I've been getting have been all aspects or all different perspectives on the topic of love, because that's what souls do. You go and re-experience stuff until you think, okay, maybe I'm fine. And you have the soul families who come in and out, but don't worry about that right now. As far as your life, your soul lesson is here, it's you get to examine it and challenge your perceptions. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
I did a little rattling on it, which I'm doing a lot tonight to kind of drop in and see what guidance showed me. And it's really weird what I saw, and I don't know if it'll make sense to you, but I heard you keep saying, this ain't my first rodeo. And you were riding a horse and you kept looking at these far off horizons that you wanted to keep traveling to. But yeah, I just kept hearing you say that. This ain't my first rodeo. This ain't my first rodeo. And it was, you had that smile that you have right now, and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna go over there. But there's also something, I keep wanting to just be embodied tonight, but there's also something to put in your left hand, and I don't know what it is, but something to anchor you to the earth. I feel like a broken record tonight, but something to connect and empower and anchor that, where maybe that would bring you into a more whole centered place, where then you're not even looking to your relationships for as much, where you have another aspect of something that's bringing you maybe what's missing. And
Okay.
then you have a different arm and a different hand open to say, who do I want to play with? Who do I want with me at this rodeo, from this whole state, from where, whatever that is, that can be in the other hand, that fills you. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Good.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeehaw, Carol. Yeehaw. Giddy up, girl.
Great. And now Kara said she had something to share. Oh, who else wanted to share something?
No, that's okay.
Great.
Can I go ahead?
Yeah,
Right.
you're
Hi,
it.
Carol. This is Kara James. Hopefully you can see me there. I took a look at your astrology chart, and boy, do you have a lot of powerful planets dancing right at the start of your relationship house. So if you know astrology, you've got the 7th house is the place of relationship, and it's right where all the COVID planets are, the planet of chaos, the planets of destruction, planets of change. They're all speaking to this part of your life that you're asking this question about. So in order for the relationship to work, there would need to be massive restructuring, massive change. It cannot continue to exist and live the way it has lived before. So I hear, it's for you to decide, but I hear the answer somewhat in your question when you said he's not going to change. Something for you to think about, because the planets are saying for this to work, there needs to be a big shift. And maybe he is willing to make that. Maybe not every avenue has been gone down, but things can't look the same. The other piece is that there's a lot of pressure on who you are at this exact same time, right? It makes sense. And I see this issue with staying power. So I see this kind of pull in your chart to learn how to stay. And I see the dilemma that you have right now. So there's lessons to be learned on both sides, but I do think it will be very hard for you to stay if there's not a significant shift. Also, your moon's in Gemini. You love change. You're a very growth-oriented person. You like to be out and about, networking, social butterfly type things. So I can see the conundrum that you're in, and I just want to reiterate, things have to change. Whatever you've got to do if you want this relationship to work, there's got to be some massive conversations around how it can be structured in such a way that fulfills your needs and his.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, because I feel that very strongly. And so I'm just trying to, the question was, do I just bolt and run like I always do, or do I stay and try to, work it out? Thank you.
How much would, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I was just going to say, how much work do you want to have, dear?
I don't know. Not very much.
Right? Another question to ask yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
yeah. Yeah, I can't do the work for him. I mean, I'm at my limit to just do what I'm doing for myself, and he requires a lot, and I just don't know if I have that, if he can't do it himself. That's the frustrating part. So,
Yeah.
okay, thank you.
I know, Galactic Ashley,
Yeah.
I know you're next. I want to jump in real fast. I hope that's okay. So the image I had at first was that you're just super responsible in many ways. You're playful, but you're responsible, and you hold a lot and carry a lot, and you've had to hold too much for these other people. And I was thinking probably that you're faster than they are, but then Kara said something of, I don't think it's about staying. You like to move. I want you to find someone who moves with you, who moves at your pace, who's active like you. It maybe grows like you, but someone that really goes with your rhythm. And that's what I think has been missing.
Yeah. That's really well said. That really, really resonates. That really helps right there.
It's great. All
It
right.
just confirms what I've been feeling.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Galactic Ashley has something too.
Yeah, I know that we talked already, but I just want to point out one thing. I understand like the soul inquiry and the line of questioning. I actually think it's great. It's great when we're deciding to leave a relationship that we ask the question: am I running? Is there something I'm missing? Am I doing all of those things? Like every question you've asked yourself. The first thing I got is to play with the frequency or the vibration of the question, so that the response that you get or from yourself is also a little bit higher, so it meets you. So rather than am I the one that always runs? I mean, you know what I mean when I say this.
Yeah.
But then also to bookend these times of inquiry, and to make them like a space where you do that and then you don't do it anymore. Because what I'm getting is that these then become these thoughts that rattle around in your head all day, and they manifest into doubt. And so then you're like, then you're up in your head going, maybe I shouldn't do, or not that you necessarily are saying this, but maybe I shouldn't do this, or maybe I'm the one that runs, maybe I should stay, maybe I'm missing something. And all of a sudden it becomes like, I don't know what the word is. I just heard disconjointed, but that's not even a word. So, and maybe.
But I totally resonate with it.
Right. So maybe that's the point, right? So that was the only sort of advice. And then to feel free, because you have tons of like lion and Syrian stuff with you, to ask your beings to help you take appropriate action in divine timing, so that you don't have to worry so much about that, but just to keep the fire going, but not so overly hot that like Sekhmet has you burning up, but just to trust that you'll know when to take action at the right time. And that was it.
That's good. Yeah, that's good. Thank you.
All right, great. Anyone else have something to share? Great. I'm going to say, so we're going to be going late because we've got 3 more questions, and I wanted to remind everyone that we do a drawing. If you fill out our feedback form, I'll put that in right here in the chat right now too. If you fill out our feedback form, we'll do a drawing for one of you will win a free 30-minute session with one of us of your choice. We're going to keep going, and you're welcome to stay with us. Thanks so much, Carol, for your question. All right, we've next got Deborah, the Dance of Joy, and then Chris R., and then Trent and Crystal. All right, Deborah.
Hi, everyone. First, I want to thank Lorelei. Oh my goodness, you saved me. I was so technically challenged to get on this call, so or not the call itself, but to pay for it. So to have this looks so fun. So I don't have a real burning question. I just noticed that the last 2 weeks, I was at Diamond Lake 2 weeks ago and camping out under the stars, and it just became so obvious to me that my life was going to be changing in some ways. And it was sad at first, but I feel so strong for it now. And I feel my next steps to I'm going to be starting a business, and I have everything is lining up. That I have a lot of background work I need to do. And I think my computer, there we go. Anyway, so I'm going to be working on a blog. I want to put it on Pinterest, and Part of what I want to do with that is I'll be working with Middle Eastern dance and using different types of movement also as healing art, shamanic journey, Sufi spinning, all of those types of things that I've done for about 40 years. So I've had a lot of background in that, and today I feel the Egyptian connection very strongly. So I really feel I resonate with this. I don't know, I think that gate opened and all the guides came through enough. It's time to do something about all these things you're talking about and get on with it. And so what I'd really like to know most is, and I've asked this question, Ashley will know many times, what are my next best steps? I need to know if I feel less overwhelmed than I have in the past, but I still feel overwhelmed in the sense of, I don't know, where do I start first? I know part of it is working on myself. Part of it is working on regaining movement. I also have a biomechanics, I can't even say it, certificate that I can work with people and help them re-enter movement, which is something I feel very strongly about because I think having somebody to have that back in their life is the best thing you could see. So I want to be a part of that. And yeah, that's it. That's my question. So if somebody needs more clarification, let me know, because I wasn't even going to do this tonight. And then it just, like I said, it just looks so fun. It's like, oh yeah, you guys are all so great. I got to try this. So
Great,
what do you
thank
got for
you.
me?
All right, so Susie's in line first and then Brandy.
Hey, Deborah, I am so excited you want to do belly dancing and movement. I've got a background in belly dancing too.
Yay.
So, but I've been out of it for quite a while. So having that background in biomechanics, I think is important, and that's going to help. What I'm seeing, it's going to help these folks who have been sitting around like me during this isolation to regain a sense of themselves. And what I gained from belly dancing was that I felt more comfortable in my body. We're breaking down those paradigms now, and I feel that that's going to be a big component of what it is you do. It's depending on how soon you want to do these classes. I know dancers, one moved to Texas, who was up in this area, and she's been doing events via Zoom, which isn't the same. But it's better than a DVD. The DVD, they're like, feel the goddess in you and all that. But as an instructor, you can actually see them up there and say, okay, make sure you're doing this. You can use your intuitive abilities too to just start talking. And as you're talking, you can help your students figure it out. But I think it's very important that you are taking it from that aspect of let's get moving again, and let's be kind to our bodies, and let's love our bodies again. We've spent so much time bashing ourselves that you're going to be an important component to it. And whenever you get classes lined up, give me a holler.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, please. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
I think, yeah, and it's also, and if we're looking at it from an energetic aspect, you're encouraging people to pull that energy up and out. And so maybe even then you could start channeling Boston and all of the different guides and stuff. So I feel very positive about it. Good luck.
Thank you. And you hit on, that's exactly what I want to do. And I'm taking Ashley's channeling class in the fall. So I'm going to work on that, and I've appreciated her help for me to access certain things that I've needed help to access. So it's been very good.
Oh, good, because they're all lined up waiting.
We get to play dress up too, so that's also the fun part of it.
Oh, excellent. Making it fun.
Inner child thing,
Yeah. Awesome.
Great, I know Brandy's in line. Go ahead.
Hi, so I heard you talking, and I was hearing everything, but there's a piece of you I feel like went to Thailand. Do you have plans to travel there?
No, but I like Thai food. I don't think that's the same thing.
No,
I would probably not be I'm the last person that's going to go overseas. So unless I go to Australia or something.
I'm sorry. I'm wondering if it's a connection to the culture, like if that's the sort of movement, the sort of lineage connection to look into, or a style. for a dance, for some sort of a link to, I'm really feeling that in your history. I'm really
Wow.
feeling that it's a way to sort of call through into this life, something that you knew from a past life where you connected to through that culture. So like, I'm not familiar myself, but the image that I'm getting is like, uh, um, so sort of like using your body for energetic movement, for, enlightenment through dance.
Yes.
But I wouldn't call it belly dancing. Like, that's not the term. But it is movement. It's flowy and that sort of thing. Anyway, I would encourage you to do a little bit of looking into. I think you'll be prompted through something through the Thai culture.
Thank you. I'll meditate about that. And when you're talking, I can see the dancers that have the long, I don't even know what they're called, but they're like long, they're not fingernails, but they're silver and they fit over the tips of their fingers. I don't know if you know what I mean, but my grandparents had that in their house. They had pictures of that. And so I've always remembered, but I know what you're talking about.
Are those Thai with the fingernails?
Yeah.
Oh,
From
okay.
Thailand?
Yeah.
Those are the
I
Thai
know, but-
dancers, yes.
Or
Oh,
They do
okay.
that
balconies and
particular
stuff.
dance.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah,
Okay. Well, yeah.
I do get what you're talking about, definitely. And you're right, I'm not strictly gonna do, I don't know who said that, maybe it was Susie, but I'm not strictly gonna do belly dance, although that'll be part of it. I do old school and then you can do new school infusion and that sort of thing that brings in the movement so that it's
And
not just about tribal dance but it's a real Egyptians rock sharky or Lebanese dance is more my background. So
okay, and I do want to add real quick, it's not just the dance that you do. It's almost like as you flow, you send out healing vibes. So I'm not going to separate out your healing from your dancing. It's like it flows through you through that process. That's the creative healing process for you, I feel.
thank you.
You're welcome.
So I'd like to jump in there. Hi, Dance of Joy.
Hello.
Fun listening to you. So as you were speaking, and I wrote down, the gate is open. It just felt so open to you, and that I was seeing that that you are starting, that some of it's real small and some of it's easy and big. And I don't know if you said this, but I saw you teaching people who have been frozen, especially those of so many people in quarantine, but or people who have compromised bodies, to teach them the joy of tiny movements and how important, what a gift that could be. It may have been what you were saying with the bodily integration, but so I was seeing that that you are doing a macro and a micro as a arch of offerings, and that I wrote down for you that you may want to see if you can practice being comfortable with uncertainty. I just made some massive changes. My book came out last week. I launched a brand new website. I've been working on both. But the brain fog that comes with that and the not knowing, even as I was allowing myself to move forward into it, there was a huge component of feeling like I wasn't knowing that I was in a cloud. And I just wonder how much of that, I feel like there's a little bit of that going on here, because I think you are moving. But this is what seemed really important for me. The most important part is you said, what are my next best steps? And so as a wordsmith and as a bodily woman, I would say to dance and chant your questions, to stand up and say, what are my next steps? And
Wow.
find those next steps.
That's nice.
Embody like your questions, like walk them, dance. And I mean, many times till you're, I think that's going to be really powerful for you to embody. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm. Crickets. Are y'all hearing? Somebody wrote crickets. They're probably my crickets.
Oh, I think it's at my house. because I'm
Okay,
unmuted. I'm sorry.
well,
I can't make them stop.
they're probably talking to each other.
That's great. We love the crickets. All right, sweet. Yeah, if you go virtual, I think several of us want to join you. All right, anyone else want to share? Any other practitioners want to jump in? Kara, you ready?
Hello, Dance of Joy.
Hello.
Hearing about your new business and blog, and it makes sense when I look at your chart. There's a lot of change energy around purpose, new understanding of your purpose, new chapter unfolding. So that's exciting to see. And right around the winter solstice, you're going to have an influx of energy that really pushes this new venture forward. It's going to really propel you forward with the Saturn-Jupiter conjunction here at the end of the year, which is exciting. And you've got a lot of hard work ahead. And I don't mean that in a bad way, but you're gonna have a lot of power behind you to build this business, to build up whatever it is that you're working on. So you're gonna be keeping busy. I can see that in your chart. And you have, in your natal chart, you have lucky Jupiter conjunct your sun. I don't know if you know your chart very well, but this is like a very coveted, right? A very, very coveted position to have in your chart. So good luck with many of your ventures, and so much intensity, passion, power, and manifestation abilities that just jump out at me from your chart. So I'm excited to see how you use this. I don't know the details of your business and blog, but certainly using your voice is called for. Expanding your voice. I mean, you've got a lot to say. You've got a lot that wants to come out, and you're a natural counselor, teacher, spiritual partner for people. So I'm really thrilled that you're here. I'm thrilled to see and hear that you're doing this new thing, because more of you wants to be in the world. It's quite clear when I look at your chart.
Thank you.
All right, great. Let's see. So a little bit that I can add to this is, and I loved Val's about dancing. So the thing that occurred to me is, and joy is in your name, but it was just like, what's fun? Like, what's not the serious, logical, like plan out next step, but like, what's the most fun? How can you feel the most joy taking a next step, and let it evolve and grow from there? So I don't know if that lands for you, but yeah, that's what I was seeing.
It does. It makes sense. Thank you.
Great. And it looks like maybe Galactic Ashley. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, we've talked a lot, so I'll just keep this short, and I think they're just sort of bullet points that are meant to re-emphasize. But I think that Val had super amazing advice, and what I got is that like your most natural way of accessing your light language is going to be through your body. So when you are with intention using light language in the soul sort of inquiry, I can actually see you getting to a point where a translation kind of might come through, plus feelings in other ways, and that you'll be able to connect multidimensionally in a way that like some other channel might just get the information and spit it out. I think that that's like the key to getting the words for what you're wanting. And so I think that that was like amazing, fabulous advice. And then I heard you say something about working on yourself, and what I got, and maybe this came up before, it feels repetitive, but I guess the joy of owning and running your own metaphysical business is that because there is no separation between you and your business, you don't need to work on yourself. You can work on your business, and you are working on yourself, because any imbalance in your ego, anywhere where you lack self-worth or faith, any wobbly parts of you is going to come up like immediately, which also feels terrifying. So like, know your value, earn your worth. Am I good enough? Like all this stuff always comes, at least it does for me, comes up over and over again. And so the beauty of it, it's like, if you want to fast track the ascension process, start a metaphysical business and then live what you preach. So I think it's really, really exciting. And I think that there's like so much opportunity for growth, both in business and at a soul level. And so I'm excited for you.
Thank you, Ashley.
All right, great. Anyone have anything else before we? Great, sweet.
Thank you all so much. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome, Deborah, the Dance of Joy. Thank you so much. Sweet. All right, great. So we've got Chris R. and then Trent and Crystal. All right. Chris R. Where is Chris R? There's Chris R. Chris, are you ready? Want to unmute and share your question? Chris R, you are muted.
There we go.
All right.
There we go. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. All right. We're not doing video tonight, just audio.
Great.
I had sent you a photo.
Oh yeah, that's right. You sent
I
me a
thought
photo.
would-
That's right.
Yeah. I sent a photo I thought represented Lionsgate. When I heard of this theme, I thought of this experience I had about 3 years ago. I don't know, you can't really see it, but it was August 14th, 2017, and I was coming back on an international flight, and I happened to be standing at the back of the airplane, and I saw a teenager playing this game that I play all the time by myself. So naturally, I was just waiting, and naturally my eyes started looking for words, and I saw my name. So I asked him to highlight my name, and I went and got my phone and I took a picture of it. So, and this could not, it was on an international flight. It couldn't happen. There wasn't anybody, I don't believe there were any human beings that were playing mind games with me or anything. I didn't know this person. I had not talked to them before. I just happened to stand there and I happened to look at their phone. I happened to see my name. Anyways, if I look back over my personal history, I see that
I'm going to say, practitioners, pin my video if you can't see it. Just pin my video. Go ahead. Keep sharing.
9.5 months after this, I started my fostering of cats, and I had 2 kittens in my home. And, 9.5 months, the length of a pregnancy. And one of the cats' names was Tina. So this is like Tian. The top line of this game is Tian, which means heaven in Chinese. It also means candle in Thai. Then 1 year later, in 2018, during the same time, during Lionsgate, my doggie got sick. He had been sick for a while. But about 1 year later, on 8/11/2018, he passed away, and I adopted my cat. And since then, I feel like I've become a cat person rather than a dog person. So I'm not sure. I'm kind of possessive when these things occur in my life. I feel like they have private meaning to me, so I kind of hang on to them, and I don't really like to super, be exhibitious about them. But I guess I'm at the point where I would be interested in hearing other people's views on what it means and where it came from. And I do have to say that I do feel that on a certain level, I feel like I know who it came from. The spirit, I would be receptive to other people's insight. I felt like the intent was to be playful.
Okay, great. Thank you. All right, let's see what arises for people. And if one of you needs to see the photo more closely, let me know. Okay, Brandy's got something to share. Go ahead.
Yeah. So You know, I was listening again and following your energy. I'm just wondering, do you want to know why it is that you saw your name on the international flight? Is that what you're asking? Like, I'm trying to clarify so that I followed you fully.
Well,
Like how
this
I mean, I understand that
this
you
was a
become
game.
right,
This was a
but
game that
right.
was on the screen.
Yeah. So I just want to make sure that's your question, because to me that just tells you that you're in the right place at the right time doing exactly what it is that you're meant to do. And with that sort of a message coming to you in that moment, I would say also what you were thinking in that moment was something that you wanted to remember, like it was going to be a key aha moment in your life. That sort of thing. That's what's coming to me about why that occurred in that moment. But you know, that's a synchronistic sign. You know, you it's almost like triggering the God spark in somebody else. You and this other consciousness were on the same plane, and your vibration was a match to him, so that when you approached next to him, you know, why is it that you went to the bathroom in that exact moment? Well, your souls were on some level communicating. In that way, he was divinely inspired to be a synchronistic plant, so to speak, for you to observe and go, oh, okay, the universe is with me. I'm never alone. I've got company, even here on this plane. I'm never alone. That's what that tells me.
Okay, thank you.
Great. Who else wants to share?
I'll step in for a moment. This is Poet Val, Chris. And wow, what a cool story. Yeah, synchronicity. So I decided to pull an oracle card, and it's from the Mayan oracle, and it's a major arcana, a major card, Lamat. I may not be saying it right. And I'm just going to read the qualities in the first paragraph, just to let something else speak here about that moment and about this place that's open for you. So the qualities are harmony, starseed. Starseed has a big resonance in me for you. Beneficial combinations, way shower, active, expanded love, clear perspective. You are a starseed. You contain a holographic seed packet of your evolution into the mind of light and the energy that directs you towards wholeness. This resonance, every time I share tonight, the train comes. This resonance offers an expanded view of the larger self and new ways of perceiving reality. Through self-acceptance, you are gifted with this journey. Lamat is ignition, like a cosmic milkweed explosion of resonant sparks. It is the launching pad from which you can hear the rumble of the rocket of your accelerated evolution. In meditation, if you wish to transform yourself into incandescent sparks of divinity, you can call on the star seeds to assist you. And that feels really, really right, really a sweet message for you around that. You're in that synchronistic state, for me to let something else sync up with you from the outside, a little outside guidance felt strong to me. So I hope that helps. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, ignition. I travel quite a bit, so I will listen to that again.
Yeah, wonderful. L-A-M-A-T is the spelling of that card from the Mayan oracle.
L-A-M-A-T, Lamat.
Lamat.
4. Looks like it has the number 4 on it.
All right, great. Who else wants to show? Oh, yeah, Val is showing the book. Hold on, let me pin you for a minute so people can see it. Okay, great, yeah.
The Mayan oracle.
Yeah, the cards.
They don't have numbers, but.
Oh. It's just the image looked like it had a square with 4 points on it.
All right, great. Who else wants to share? See, Galactic Ashley is doing is it music or something. Hey, who else wants to jump in?
I'll jump in and say, yeah, I feel like it is synchronicity. I pulled a card from the Earth Magic Tarot, and it was fairies and Earth Magic. So to let you know you're not alone, that you are supported in all you do, and to look at the fun part of it. So you were looking at a game, and it's like, oh, look, there's my name. So keeping it light and understanding that you can find signs in all kinds of different presentations. So you were at the right place. I agree. It's a synchronistic thing. So yeah, cool.
Okay, great. And Kara might have some general insight from your chart.
Sure. Hello. Well, I mostly am noticing all of your Gemini energy. You have quite a few planets in Gemini, and I hear that in your curiosity of like, what does this mean? What are these synchronicities? What's being said to me? So along with what the last woman said, just that sense of following those threads and your curiosity and letting that open up for you. I don't know if there's another question I can answer for you about your chart, but that's really what jumped out at me when I was looking at it.
Great. So if something else arises, and then Galactic Ashley's in line. Go ahead, Galactic Ashley.
So one of the things that I picked up on, and so this is part of the message that's coming through for you tonight. And so it's not a criticism, so I'm just saying that. But what was coming through, I heard you say the words, I don't even remember what the words were, but there was like an attachment to these times where these synchronicities happened. But there was another word that you used, which really was like, made me really look at it. So the reason why you're asking the question tonight is because the message is to try and release attachment to these specific moments where these synchronicities are happening, because when we are attached to that experience, we're actually creating a field of resistance and receiving more synchronicities that are like that. Because the message is that you can have moments like this every single day. And it's great to document them and keep track of them, because I find that when we write down these super awesome, funny things, I call it when like the beings or are Hansel and Greteling me. So sometimes they'll just send me out and then they're showing me and they're giving me all these messages, even though we can directly communicate. Well, why not do this other thing? Because it's fun too. And then it makes being out in the 3D world more fun, right? So it's great to document them because you're acknowledging the universe, and then the universe can give you more. But the message is really to ask for more and ask to have experiences like that every single day, because it's an easy and fun, high vibrational way for the spirit world to communicate with you. It also feels like it also felt like sometimes our like future selves are working with our past selves to leave our present selves messages. So a lot of times when we also release attachment to these synchronicities, and when there's one that feels larger than others, then they sort of become this living messenger, and then they can still give you messages even years later. And so it's like more of a celebration. And one example I have is when I was 14, I was writing the name Mahana in my notebook, which I happened to find, 25 years later, but I had adopted a dog and named her Mahana like 16 years after I was writing the name down. So it's like she was already in my consciousness at 14, but then I wasn't super conscious of when I got her and named her. I just picked the perfect name. And then later I find out that's what was kind of in the plan the whole time. And that's awesome, right? and then I ask for more messages.
Thanks. What does anybody, what am I to make of that, the Chinese word in the game?
Oh, that's right. What did you say? It was the Chinese word for?
It's for heaven.
Oh, heaven. Yeah.
I would just say, you know, how that resonates with you, right? Like they're your synchronicities. They're playing into your life, your experiences. So we have a small glimpse, you know, based on a little bit of the energy. But I would say, you know, if you looked up the word and it means heaven, then I would just say that was a very powerful, positive moment. And it could just be that, unless there's something deeper from another experience that ties it to that.
Yeah, I used to go to China quite a bit and Thailand actually. So
then that's it. That's why it was there, and that's why it was in that language, because you know you have a connection to that, right?
So
it really could just
go ahead.
know that, at least. Sorry. Go ahead, Lorelai.
I just say, so part of if I played with some meaning for me in all of this, so you're clearly a very playful, interactive person. I love that you immediately interacted with this person and took a photo of the phone. So part of what I look for is that, or part of what's occurring to me is, to some extent, you're looking for the playfulness and the aliveness to come from the messages. And there may be opportunities for it to come through you and the way you interact, that you're essentially creating the patterns that you're not doing. Right? So you're heaven, you're the opportunity for you to be heaven all the time. So what are those opportunities where you're not doing it for yourself? So what are ways you can do it now every day?
Yeah, every moment you could be like in the now.
But in the now, in the most playful way that you can be, playful, interactive, inspiring, like you have a lot of energy. Are you putting yourself in places with people where you can really express that?
No, I'm actually a really private person. In fact, the whole like quarantine thing hasn't really disturbed me too much. I mean, if it went on forever, it would be bothersome. But
well, I think you have a playful, interactive side that somehow you've not been letting out.
Yeah, and also bringing in cats. You know, shifting from dogs to cats, and cats are really. Well, I mean, both dogs and cats are playful, but the cats are funny and weird and kind of like little aliens. And yeah, so I guess it just, yeah, it felt like a strong, playful spirit underneath it. I am naturally kind of freaked out. Sometimes I get kind of anxious about things, but I didn't get really anxious about this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I did want to, I just kind of, you know.
Well, it seems like it's a good thing. We're all hearing it as a good thing.
Space station from Iceland or something, who knows?
It all feels positive for me, yeah.
What's that?
It feels positive for me, yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you so much for your question.
That's the topic Lionsgate I felt, yeah, just right at this section of the year. Thank you, everyone.
You're welcome. Thanks so much. All right, we've got one more question. So Trent and Crystal.
Hi.
Hello.
So my question is, it's kind of a two questions, but I'm leaving it up to y'all to read into it. My question would be about the relaunch of my business this fall and the problems I'm currently experiencing in my partnered relationship. Whatever you practitioners can read into, I'm open to and receptive of.
Sorry, could you just say it one more time? The two things?
Yeah, relaunching my business this fall, and I'm currently experiencing some problems in my partnered relationship.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So what might be here for us, particularly in terms of Lionsgate? Yes,
Oh, I'm
people are
sorry. Are you
tuning in.
asking me?
No, it's okay. People are tuning in, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Brandy, go ahead.
What business are you relaunching? Oh, I'm sorry. What business are you relaunching, Crystal?
Crystal healing therapist. I'm a crystal healing therapist.
Okay. So you're gonna want to sort of, some of the challenges is obviously going to be through COVID, right? So you want to, is that what, okay. So you're going to want to, like word of mouth, like you're good. You're really good at what you do, right?
Mm-hmm.
So word of mouth is going to be really important, and having a, do you have a space to do it outside of, like in your home?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't unless I'm traveling to clients locally.
Oh, I see. Okay, so in the meantime, you would be limited to local clients only. Do you
Oh
work
no,
distantly?
I do distance too. Yes, I do.
Well, so okay, well, like these fairs, do you do distance like what we do here?
Yeah.
For business opportunities, you can really start thinking about how you can start to present yourself out there. This is a venue, and there are other venues like this too, right? So this is great in a no-touch environment.
Okay.
So that's something. Also YouTube, I sort of feel you talking healing, like telling a story, like weaving a story and adding your energy to it and getting really animated. Okay, now something else is coming in. I really kind of see you doing that and like really telling a story, and with that putting your energy into it and presenting that like through a YouTube format. Actually, there's a different format. I don't know the name of it. Something where you, because I'm not techie at all, but like you make a video and then you post it. But it's a different, if it's not YouTube actually, it's something else, and they're quicker, like only a couple of minutes or something, like almost like a cartoon or something, like really quick, really funny. Like I see that coming from you.
Mm-hmm.
So quick little videos too, and then just drop a hint, call me, for more, whatever, something like that. I really see that for you. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. And I think I used up all my time on that on that side of your question, so I'll let someone else handle the relationship side.
I understand.
I'll go ahead and jump in. Hi, Trenton.
Hi, Val.
I'm gonna set my clock. Trenton, you have an amazing energy. I've been noticing you tonight and excited you were going to ask a question, and I really wanted to hear your question and be with you because your presence is just really big. And when you asked your question, you said I'm asking about relaunching my business and a problem with a relationship. It was almost the child's self asking, the not knowing. In my poems, I've often written about how lonely it is to know. Like if I know everything, if I'm always in my intuition, then I don't get to walk around and ask people what to do. And I love asking people what to do. I love not knowing. It's like a really sweet connection in my heart to say, oh, what do you guys think? And I almost felt that little bit of a disconnect from a knowingness. And then when you were asked what your business is, you said, I'm a crystal healing therapist. Boom, your energy changed so much. You were just like, shoo, man, you just embodied that in a really different place. And I believe you, and I know that you're good because I could see it. You also carry that magician energy, making wands and wearing your Mickey Mouse hat, and making stars in the sky kind of magician stuff. And so what I see is that dropping into your skills and again, in the new paradigm, I think we take what's old, the crystals is one of the oldest things on this planet, and bring it into the new paradigm. So to let them teach you, you're on two really big life questions. So how can the crystals lead you and guide you and teach you and speak to you in a way they never have before? Is there a grid that comes forth, or do you journey with them, or to drop into that really sacred tool that you are so strong in, and to say, well, let's expand into the new? And I have a sense that may open another path for you, because people are going to be drawn to you because you're very convincing. When you say what you do, I know you do. I know it's true. So I hope that helps. Did that make sense to you?
Yes, it does. And that's a good idea to work with stones closely.
Yeah, and it's almost like, don't do what you know, don't do what you don't know. You know, it's like writing the poem. If I'm going to write a poem and I know how it's going to end, I have to throw away the poem and begin at the last line and write it from there. So it can be a gift to me and bring something unexpected, so it can heal in my world. So to do it like that, if you know where you're going, start there and then go. Like, don't do something you know already. If that makes sense.
Yes.
We're in the new paradigm, Trenton.
Yes.
So blessings. I have a kitty who really needs me. So I'm gonna say thank you, everybody, so much, and I'm gonna leave you now. But
thank you.
And thank you for asking a question. Thanks for letting me be here to play with you.
Thanks so much, Val, for being with us. And I'm going to post your information in the chat again for everybody. Yeah, it's been great being with you. And by the way, Val didn't share anything about this, but she also does leather work, and you can see some of the drawings on the board behind her. Yeah. All right, great. Thank you, Val. Bye-bye. All right, Susie.
Okay. Hey, Trenton, it's good to see you again. When Brandy was talking about doing videos about crystals, that's what I got to hit on, is that you talk about your perspective on crystals and what you see them, because I feel like your perception of crystals, your take on crystals is going to be a little bit different, and you're going to come from your perspective about how they helped you, or how it is they have helped you. Also giving folks an opportunity to think about them and asking questions. You know, the crystals are asking questions of us as people. When I have my crystals, I've got my bracelets on, I just keep them around me and I listen to the yeah. And I've got a pile of them over here on other stones. But
me too. I could show you my whole room, but we don't have time.
So I feel that your connection with crystals, I mean, it's a lot. It's different. I know people who know the book meaning of crystals, but you know how they can tune in. And I feel that you're going to have an opportunity. Even energy travels, even in this sort of format, where you can say, this is a crystal that is calling me for you. And you can help folks heal that way, give them something to think about or to reflect on, and then help them to release. Pardon me?
Crystal prescriptions.
Yes. Yes. Oh no, I have to get another quartz. Oh booger. Oh yeah. But it's a great thing, and I really do see you doing wonderful things with them, and I'm looking forward to it. As far as your partner relationship, I had drawn cards, and they were perspective, reflection, and release, which I think there might be some perspectives that you need to look at and reassess. Reflect on what's going on, and the release is not so much about the relationship, but it's about letting go of the way things ought to be or should be, letting go of the shoulds. I'm seeing fear around it too. So reflecting on it, what is it? It's not a reflection on you. You're doing your work, and so this is bringing up fears for you.
Okay.
Yeah, you're fine, honey. You're going to be fine.
Okay, thank you.
I believe in you. Yeah.
Hi, Kara.
Hi, can I chat next? Nice to meet you, Trenton Crystal. Thanks for sharing your chart with me. You got a lot of pressure to let yourself be out there and be seen and known. You have Uranus, that great awakener, the restless one, stirring up this idea of you being out and about in the world, letting your lion ascendant roar, your Leo ascendant roar. So perfect timing that you're here tonight, basking in the energies of the Lion's Gate, because it's showing up right here on who, you know, how you're seen and known in the world, right? And how you want to present yourself to us and to your people. Is this resonating so far?
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. The Leo correlation.
And the same pressure is also being put on your relationship, because Uranus is up at the top of your chart. It's close to your midheaven. So it's pushing on, you know, how do you want to be in the world, and how, you know, and that, you know, transformation pushes on your relationships at the same time. So it can create that restless sense in both areas of life. Now, you're a master communicator. You really are. You have that past life sense. You've come in with this knowledge. You've got a little pressure there because of Mercury retrograde, right? Where it's like, okay, this is even more important for you to get your voice out there. And I see you really being able to use your voice and use your gifts relating to groups of people. So being able to, even now in the time of COVID, being able to form online groups of some kind where you're able to share your message, share your knowledge. This seems like a really, really great thing when I look at your chart. And maybe you're already doing that, but that's where there's a lot of energy for you that could be really helpful. And the biggest thing is I just see you like getting comfortable leading, getting comfortable being seen and known, being in the spotlight. And even if you're already in that place, there's some layers that seem like they need to come off for you to be like fully like, yes, in your raw power, right? Stepping into that space. And you're gonna have a lot of help at the end of the year. Your Mars is going to get an influx of energy with all these COVID change-making planets. So you might still be kind of like trying to figure out the details, you know, and you know, for a few months, and then you're going to have a more of a jolt of, oh, okay, I get how I want to use my energy more. So don't necessarily push too hard right now. Kind of let these, you know, let things percolate. But I see a lot of that getting more structured and making more sense for you in a few more months, if that makes sense.
That does make sense, yes. And that's intuitively how I feel about it as well.
Yeah, I trust that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, great. And then Galactic Ashley has her hand up.
Okay. Hi. First, I have to say sorry if I misuse terms. Okay, so the first thing that came through was that the reason why you're asking those questions together is because energetically they're sharing the same space. So it's on one level, your partner is influencing the relaunch of your business, and how you feel that influence is how you, I'm not going to tell you how you feel that influence or try and say that it's happening positively or negatively. So then before we go to the partner, the other thing that I was reminded, so the lion beings actually reminded me of something I noticed a while ago, is that a lot of my friends had their, and I think this is the right term, their gender affirming surgeries when the Lion's Gate was open.
Oh.
Which I found fascinating. So I'm not saying that you need to schedule anything or that has anything to do with you, but what I am getting is that it's not necessarily physical, but that you've done all of this work to develop this relationship with how you present yourself to the world and who you know that you are, that you're relaunching your business is very much tied to the comfort that you have begun to start feeling within yourself. Remember, the Lion's Gate is about unification. So it's about unifying these ideas, not so much in the outside world, but who are within and of ourselves, whether we identify as male or female and how we feel in the physical body, or non-binary. And so that is important, and I sort of feel like you've already done that, but to relax into who you are and who you've become. And I felt like this really big sense of relaxation. And then and if there's been issues between you and your partner right now, what I was picking up on is that on an unconscious, totally vibrational level, your partner's energy field, he's not conscious, or they, sorry, are not conscious of this, but that their energy field is sort of seeing or understanding that your energy field has changed. And so it's creating sort of this non-resonant field. And so what I got was to go ahead and focus on you and your relationship with you, and you bringing yourself out into the world with your business, and that your relationship will either transition with you or not transition with you if you can let go of an attachment to that. And it may be challenging, and it may work out, and so that was what I got.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, great. Is there anyone else that's left to share? Might be me. I don't remember who else. Okay, great. So let me see a little bit. So I loved, was it Susie? Someone drew cards. So I'm like, oh, I have cards next to me. So I drew cards. So the cards that I got are Father, Firm, Game, Change, and Love. So I'm just trying to play with like what this might be. So I don't know if your father was very firm, if there's some way that your partner reminds you of your father. If
Yeah, daddy issues.
Yeah, so that's part of what's here. So yeah, so it's so part of it is your partner's not your father, right?
No.
And then often we choose partners that are similar to our parents, and we're still playing, working out these different issues. And so we could say we're game change, right? So game change could be about father firm. So, and it could be also love comes after that too. So game change, I just think a game changer. So like how could you relate with your partner so differently than you related with your father?
In every way.
Okay.
In every way.
Cool. So you say you are now?
Yeah, I mean, we're having problems, but we are still very close. I mean, he's sitting right next to me.
Yeah, that's what I know. Usually they're there, yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, so game change. So I wonder what about the game wants to change? So something about the dynamics of the thing that is the problem. Familiar with Byron Katie's turnaround? So like how many different ways you can spin around the way that you're seeing whatever that is at the moment and totally change that up. There may be, some other practitioners have mentioned this, there may be some way that the business and your expansion of your business and relaunching is putting some pressure in the relationship. You're super social. And I can't remember, they may not be quite as social. And love. So it's really focusing on the love of yourselves and of each other while you're here with whatever that is. And yes, be open to how a game changer might simply appear. And it's not something that you have to work hard at either.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah. All right, cool. All right, well, practitioners, anything else that you want to jump in and share? I know it has been a big full night, everyone. All right, great. Well, thank you everyone for being here with us. So this has been our MeWe Awakening panel on Lionsgate, Cosmic Awakening, Cosmic Activation. And so we're here with you tonight. Thank you so much. We'll be posting this recorded. And then also we have a fair on Sunday from 1 to 4 p.m. Pacific time. So you can come back to the same room, either join MeWe online or jointhefair.com. Join MeWeOnline.com or jointhefair.com on Sunday between 1 to 4 p.m. Pacific time. Many of us will be back along with other practitioners. We have more panels that are coming. They haven't been scheduled yet. One is going to be working with the Fae and the elementals. And then another is going to be another on animals. And then there's going to be another one on divine feminine and female sexuality. So stay tuned for more panels coming. So thanks so much for being here with us. And practitioners, if you want to hang out, we'll have a chance to connect. So thank you everyone for being here. MeWeFairs.com. Thanks everyone for asking questions and everyone for holding space for all the answers. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
Bye. All right, great. And Val might come back for a moment for a conversation.